20 years ago, Alex Jones created a media platform called Infowars, and in the decades since, it's grown into a truly remarkable institution with over 200 radio affiliates, tens of millions of unique website visitors monthly, and a 24/7 live news TV show broadcasting from state-of-the-art studios in Austin, Texas. Infowars has become the most trusted independent news source in the country, dedicated to delivering breaking news, live coverage of special events, and exclusive reports you won't find anywhere else. While the old dark media struggles to maintain supremacy in a landscape rocked by innovation and technology, Infowars has been at the forefront of the information revolution. From 8 million radio listeners, over 2 million YouTube subscribers, with billions of views of our online content, Infowars proves dominant in every facet of media we enter. The hardest-hitting reports, uncompromising analysis for high-profile interviews and bombshell revelations, except no substitutes. Demand truth. Demand Infowars. Infowars. Tomorrow's news today.
Okay, the big story right now here in the United States that's got everybody into their seats is the fact that the New York Post on Sunday reported that Hillary, according to their sources in New York, is eyeing running for president in 2020. And my response to that is, of course she is. Regardless, she's going to want to raise the campaign money and then swindle it, like she always does. I mean, she violates every law of the sun. But it's Joel Gilbert who first reported it on Friday at American Thinker. So we're posting the article on Infowars.com right now. It's a lengthy, detailed, 10-page report that you really need to read. We're going to be covering it with Joel Gilbert coming up at the bottom of this hour. Now, that said, I made some phone calls yesterday, and then I made some more phone calls this morning to some really smart folks in D.C. who are, let's just say, very close to Hillary's law firm. And I did some checking around, and I was told exactly what Joel Gilbert wrote from them. Because, you know, they think they have moles, we have moles as well. But I was told it's so she can try to maintain control of the party, and that her and Obama are working together, but that they are still fighting with each other over the reins of control. So they're unified in their attempt to block Trump's agenda, to take Trump out, stop the Make America Great Again agenda. But that at the very top, they're still struggling over the reins of power in the party. And so if she doesn't try to stay in the reins and tell her people, and she's still got a big cult behind her, that she's not running, then their power will completely dissipate. Already, contributions to their foundation are down by 80+%. She's not in government anymore for paper play. But now they're doing the stunts like Bernie Sanders flying around commercial. Sanders would go one stunt further, and Sanders would fly coach. Of course, the word is he doesn't really do that unless it's election time. There's the Clintons on a bunch of jet aircraft and stolen millions of dollars and just unbelievably corrupt. They paid millions of dollars per speech. There they are. Hillary keeps distance from deplorables as she flies commercial. There you go. So that is all coming up today. We're going to be looking at it, but is she really running? Yes, she is currently. We're only a year and a half out from the middle of the election. We're only less than 2.5 years out from the actual election. So the 2020 election is already going on. That's what Trump announced months ago. It was genius because the Democrats are already campaigning against him. So the best way for him to get out in front of them is to get out in front of them. That's why you do that. But she's just arrogant and just crazy enough to actually go through with it all if she can try to stay alive. But as we all know, she's had more surgeries and more health problems than Darth Vader. And so they call them gomers, people that have had a lot of cancer, a lot of heart problems, a lot of other things, but that are really hard to kill. So they have a lot of health problems, but they're still alive. And Hillary Clinton is a gomer. She's got to walk around with back braces. She's got to wear the glasses for the seizures. She's been caught on tape having the seizures. She's constantly falling down. She's got vertigo. I mean, it's a hellish life, but she's trying to cling to power like herpes, trying to stay alive on a toilet seat, hoping somebody sits down so she can be transferred on to them. So this is big exclusive intel you're going to get. Coming up, we're going to lay it all out. Hillary's in for 2020. It's Monday, the 9th day of July, 2018. I'm your host, Alex Jones. We're going to be here for the next 4 hours. Joel Gilbert, who broke the big story at AmericanThinker.com on Friday that the New York Post had picked up, that is now one of the top stories in the world, that Hillary Clinton is eyeing a run for the 2020 presidential nomination. And she's going to attempt to unseat 45. Unbelievable. I made some phone calls to a lot of sources yesterday and today about this, and they said absolutely. And they broke down why, and I concurred with their analysis. But then I made some phone calls to some sources and basically bluffed them with a police tactic where you just say, well, I know that she told you and they said this, so keep your infrastructure in place when everybody's pay's been cut way back. I know the foundation hasn't been making as much money, but I engaged a few individuals talking about, you know, how does she think she could win? This is crazy. And they just bluffed right into it. It's unbelievable. So Democrats that I've called that are close to Hillary, that through my channels I'm able to talk to off and on over the years, they have been told since she lost about a week after that they were going to regroup and they were at least going to get campaign money and they were going to control the Democratic Party process by her announcing her run early, then trying to control the party, and then trying to pick someone that they would then hand the ball off to if her health goes down too much, which they think is a real possibility, obviously. But that's how they will maintain control of the party. And what Joel Gilbert lays out in the American Thinker article that we've reposted to Infowars.com and Newswars.com, what he lays out dovetails with what all my sources are saying, because Hillary Clinton's evil may only be outstretched and outpaced by her arrogance. She wears a back brace. She has seizures. She had a brain tumor removed in 2013. She looks physically extremely frail. But she still reportedly works up to 16 hours a day trying to control her criminal network. She is truly a monstrous witch. But she's got her network in place. They are in a cult. They believe she's a god. They believe the demographics. They can turn women against Trump and have them vote for her simply because she's a woman. Most importantly, they're not going to turn loose of the Democratic Party infrastructure and money, especially after their foundation is 75 to 80+% down. So she doesn't just act evil. She doesn't just look evil. She behaves in a very, very wicked, destructive manner. Whenever she touches, turns to absolute crud. And the fact that she thinks that she can win again, or that she can even live that long, is a sterling example of how arrogance and false confidence seem to go hand in hand with manifest evil. By the way, look at Bill Clinton. I mean, the expiration date is up on that guy. It's like leave a carton of milk in the refrigerator at the back, forget about it. It's a see-through plastic container. You see it all clotted up at the top. You go, oh, that must be old milk. I forgot about it. And then you look at the expiration date. But you still do, oh, this has been bad for 2 weeks. You go to throw it in the trash can, or you dump it down the sink. And you look at Bill Clinton, you look at Hillary, I mean, they are milk cartons that have like green floating at the top. And they're in the refrigerator so long that the whole plastic carton has gas pressure in it from the rotting milk, and it's all bloated and about to pop. But it's perfect. They look like Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars. They act like Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars. And they're saying, no, we're going to hold on to power forever. Well, oh, but they're flying coach now. Isn't it just darling? Isn't it just special? Isn't it just cute? Now, we're going to more to this with Bill Clinton in just about 15 minutes. First up, when we come back, I have talked to not just Roger Stone, that has a lot of high-level sources, but I've talked to folks in the campaign, and I've talked to one of our sources in the White House, 3 sources today. And they have narrowed it down to the 2 people that they last were told. And one of them was told yesterday that Trump is leaning towards. But at the minute, Trump is looking at all the data, all the information. He's calling Congress. He's getting their take on who can get confirmed and who is the most original constructionist constitutionalist. And so we'll look at the individuals that are in the lead. But Kavanaugh was in front of the lead until Trump learns he does have a decent voting record as a judge. But the connections to the Bushes and the connections to Karl Rove, I've been told that he is not going to be picked president. Currently, decided he's out of the running. But I have the 3 names of who's in the running. You'll say, well, Alex, you're right most of the time, but you said that it was going to be Napolitano. Trump told Napolitano, you'll be my second choice. But then reportedly some conversations happened, and now it's Attorney General that he's being eyed for because of the fact he's not too old. It's just that we want to get somebody in there who can serve 30 years. And Napolitano, maybe 10, 15, he's an older guy, still really sharp. So it's more of a job for the Attorney General spot. So we're going to be looking at that and going over some of those names when we come back from this break. We've got to end this special today or tomorrow because we're running low on a lot of things. We're discounting 50%, plus the 4th of July week is over. But the Second American Revolution sale is what I'm calling it, and it's extended until tomorrow when we have new specials that will be launched on Wednesday. I want to thank you all for your support. We go buy books, videos, t-shirts, water filtration, air filtration, whatever the best systems are. We get them, we discount them, we sell them. Our supplements are the same as well. We have free shipping on U.S. domestic, can't do international, and 50% off. When they say 50% off, we don't raise the price and then say 50% off. It's 50% off. Many of these, like Colloidal Silver Bullet, and Knockout, and products like Supernova Vitality and products like Brain Force are very close to losing money when I sell them these prices. But I want new people to try to see how great it is. But I also know when people come in and get these lost leaders, they buy the product. But just check out the t-shirts later in there because it sent shockwaves across the country to the globalist when Hillary for President shirts went out. 100,000+ of them. Now, granted, most of them we sold for $5. We sold maybe 10,000 at full price. We sold the rest between $5 and $10, depending on what sales we had. I can't afford to do that because a lot of our shirts are made in America and printed. So they're costing us $10. They have a whole section of this made in America, but still printed here. And a lot of you choose to get that. I understand why. I can sell that for $9.95 and make $5, but I got to sell them made in America for $9.95 and make $10. So fund the Infowar, spread the First Amendment. Take photos wearing the shirts. I love the new Re-elect 45 because Walmart had the one saying P45. We just changed it, same base design to Re-elect 45. The American flag, Infowars.com. On the back it says I am the resistance. That means you are wearing it. And then we have me like a Wolverine shirt with Trump on it. It's red. It's awesome. Infowarstore.com, Infowarslife.com. Whatever you do, support the broadcast. Without you, Soros will win. With your help, we are unstoppable. God bless you. All right. The president at this point, according to high-level multiple sources, has not decided yet. At 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, we'll be covering it live for the night. Special extended Infowars Nightly News coverage of that because it is so critical. And we'll deal with such a major death blow if Trump can get a real conservative, constitutionalist, or libertarian confirmed on the court. It will be a big blow. It'll demoralize the enemy. They're also obviously going to try to go in and block the nomination. Al Gore, Rob Reiner, Hillary Clinton, Michael Moore, they all call for uprisings, insurrection to block it. When we point out that they're calling for civil war and the USA Today says we're in a civil war, and I say we'll mark this July 4th then on America standing up to these people and politically knowing we're in an information war, and they see it as a physical war. And I think you can mark July 4th, 2018 as the kickoff of the new civil war. Doesn't mean it means North versus South or the cavalry lining up to kill each other, but political scientists agree it is a civil war going from a cold civil war to a soft civil war to a hot civil war. And they play semantical games in thousands of newspapers since last week, saying Jones says that there will be total death on July 4th and shooting and killing everywhere. No, there's conservatives and libertarians and Christians and others being attacked and being drugged by vehicles and being shot and being stabbed and being thrown out of businesses and being denied service and having their ribs broken and on, things you've been doing. Now, let's play a clip here of the president earlier this morning saying that he does want to let everybody know that he will be announcing who the new Supreme Court justice will be tonight. I think it's a decision, obviously, in the next few hours, and then get them ready to be there. But he hasn't made up his mind yet. Here it is. I'm getting very close to making a final decision, and I believe this person will do a great job. I'm very close to making a decision. I've not made it official yet, obviously. I've not made it final, but let's say it's the 4 people, but they're excellent. Everyone, you can't go wrong. Because it will cement a conservative majority of Democratic. Now, let's go over who I have been told currently is at the head of the line. Judge Amy Barrett. Trump really likes her, but they're concerned she might not get confirmed because she's too, quote, Christian and too conservative and too constructionist. I think she would make a really good choice. That's who I would like to see. Good-looking, smart, conservative, classical Catholic woman, a good person to replace Kennedy. And it would really knock down all this stupid Hillary stuff about we don't want women in positions of power. The optics are great, too. Plus, she's really young. She can go on court 35, 40 years. That's a big bonus. But she is third in the running right now. You're seeing in the news that Thomas Hardiman is in the lead, according to Breitbart. That Barrett and Hardiman are in the lead. That is not what I'm told from my high-level campaign sources, high-level White House sources, and Roger Stone has sources as well. That is not who I'm told is in the lead. She's in the number 3 position. Hardiman is in the number 4 position. Senator Lee is in the running still. Kavanaugh is out. That's the big takeaway. Currently, Kavanaugh, because of his Bush connections, and because of his neocon connections, because of his never-Trumper connections, Brett Kavanaugh, the minion reportedly of Karl Rove, not a big plus as well, he was in the running and was put forward to the president up front, but that is not the case. Raymond Cathledge is right up at the top. Raymond Cathledge is right up there at the top. So, Cathledge, Amy Barrett, and then one other as well that I'll go back to here in just a moment. But first, let's play one reason I really like to see Amy Barrett in there. Remember when Dianne Feinstein started channeling the Jedi Council Master Yoda and said, "The dogma is strong in you. The Force is strong with you. Join me and I will complete your training." The Emperor hasn't seen this. No, I am your father. Don't act so surprised, Hillary. You weren't on any mercy mission this time. I want to know what happened to the plans they sent you. So here she is channeling Master Yoda, saying the Christian dogma is strong in this one is. Here she is.
When you read your speeches, the conclusion one draws is that the dogma lives loudly within you. And that's of concern when you come to big issues that large numbers of people have fought for years in this country.
I've got all my notes here. It's not Catholic, it's Keithlage. You can say Catholic Keithlage. Again, I'm going to go over more of this as things continue to unfold. But some sources are saying Hardiman is in the lead and that Kavanaugh is down because of his anti-Trump connections. And that's pretty much unanimous. But a lot of folks, like I said, are rooting for Barrett because of what you just saw. But we're all going to find out this evening. Make no mistake about that. So I'm extremely excited about it. But let's hear that bizarre Dianne Feinstein clip one more time. Imagine if you said to someone like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who's Jewish, your Jewish faith is strong in you. The dogma of Jews is strong in you. You would see that senator removed from office because of the bigoted statement. We'll come back to more on the other side. And we will also break down the fact that Hillary is intending to run for 2020. And the man that first broke it last Friday is going to be joining us with the inside intel and more. Newswars.com, Infowars.com, EuropeWars.com. Next year's news today. We are back live. We are broadcasting worldwide on this Monday, the 9th day of July 2018. And as is so often the case, real investigative journalists first report on what's happening, and the mainstream media picks it up later. And no stranger to breaking big news stories, investigative journalist, documentary filmmaker Joel Gilbert wrote a detailed article that I'm actually jealous of. I wish you sent it to Infowars.com for AmericanThinker.com. And I started making phone calls yesterday saying, is this really the case? There's some high-level sources, both Democrat and Republican. And they said, absolutely. And then they laid out why. And Gilbert lays a lot of it out in his article. But the big issue here is that Hillary Clinton wants to do this to keep control of the Democratic Party and to be able to swindle the money out of it, just like she's done for the last few decades, because her major foundation is falling apart and has seen donations to it down almost 80% because there's no more pay for play. So the only way she can stay in the game is to at least start the run. Some are saying even early, like Trump's done. Start the run next year, and then use that to keep her nose in the party, and then parlay it into controlling who the nominee is down the road, because she does have so many documented health problems that have been confirmed. My God, she falls down where she goes. She looks like hell. Bill Clinton looks like his expiration date was out 20 years ago. It looks like molding bread. It's clear that they're not long for this world for 5-10 years max. And who would try and cling to power like that, like Hitler in his bunker? Well, when you've got so many crimes coming out, you need to look strong to your party. You need to look like you're going to win. It's bluff. That's why they tried to unseat delegates for Trump. They stole the nomination from Sanders. They tried to then push impeachment for the president. They have deep staters staying in, and you see Brennan, and you see Clapper, you see them all in the news, saying, stay in government and resist the president. Don't follow his orders. And if you're young and Trump tries to hire you, don't do it, or you'll be blackballed once you get rid of it. That's all over the news. Overthrow the president. Kidnap his son and rape him. Harass everybody. Surround the Capitol. Don't let him get a Supreme Court nominee confirmed that he's about to announce tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern. And so, yes, Hillary is planning to run. She told her people this. And I know some sources locally in the Democratic Party that are high up, and also nationally, and I called them and I said, so she's running. Man, I tell you, people are crazy. America rejected her, and they're very arrogant back until they catch themselves. They're like, well, how do you know? And I'm like, well, it's in the news, and I just bluffed you. And they get a little bit owly. But I have talked to 3 Democrats who've already been told. And I'm talking about people that run major operations, okay? So I have sources on and off record, obviously. So Joel Gilbert's done a great job laying this all out, and he's the guy that first broke it on Friday. Here's why Hillary Clinton is running again in 2020. We've reposted it at Infowars.com and Newswars.com from American Thinker. It's also at JoelGilbert.net. And Joel joins us always with big breaking news. I appreciate you coming on short notice. You lay it all out here, but you do some other facets. But just recapping it right up front. I've talked to my Republican sources, Democrat sources, all of them. They say, of course, that's a no-brainer. And of course, the president, let's play the president again, has said repeatedly that he loved running against Hillary. So here's President Trump on that.
Hillary runs. Is she going to run? I hope. Hillary, please run again. Go ahead.
So, and he also says he wants Maxine Waters to be the face of the Democratic Party. So Joel, from your sources and just from your research, take to the end first and walk us through from the beginning. But going to the end of the book right now, are my sources accurate from your sources that she indeed is already told the party and it's a done deal?
Yeah, I think you can see this as a done deal. That's what all my sources were telling me. And if you just look at her actions and look at the equation, picking up from where you left off is the reason the Clintons have stayed out of jail for 30 years, despite a rap sheet that would make Al Capone blush, is because they make the jailers live in fear. You saw Lisa Page wrote Peter Strzok, be easy on Hillary because she might be president. So as long as people think that the Clintons have power, might be in power, they're not going to be prosecuted. That's part of the equation. Another big part of the equation is simply Hillary's life mantra. You've heard her say a million times. When I was 6 years old, my mother told me that even though I got knocked down and the other little girls hit me and I fell down, life is not about getting knocked down. It's how you get back up. So the Clintons never quit. They never quit. Whitewater, Benghazi, email server scandal, Monica Lewinsky. They just never quit. They don't care. So when you look at the landscape as I've laid out, in 2020, on the Democrat side, you're going to have probably the very best potential candidates that are going to stay away because they're going to think Trump's too tough to beat and they don't want to ruin their prospects for 2024. So you've got a group of publicity hounds running with Hillary Clinton, and she's going to be able to get an easy 25% of the vote based on name recognition and her loyal followers, with the other 10 candidates splitting the vote. Now, Trump did something very similar. He had a loyal core of supporters, and every time someone dropped out, he'd pick up about half of those, and the rest would split. So this is called a path to the nomination. Hillary is the only person that has a realistic path. And it is realistic, and I think it's going to be irresistible for her not to take that path. And then the question becomes, well, can she win? Of course she can't win. Trump is going to be her. But you have to understand how skilled the Democrats are at voter fraud, voter ID fraud, early vote fraud, vote by mail fraud, driver's license, motor voter fraud.
That's right. Trump all evidence shows won by a gigantic popular vote landslide, but they clearly stole at least 6 states, caught in the computers by Homeland Security, state security, and 5 others. This all came out. Democrats, like Bev Harris, she's a liberal. She said, no, Trump had a bunch of states stolen from him. So they're going to go all in.
They're going to go all in. Don't forget, remember, Hillary did not concede, even though she lost, because in 2016 they were waiting for maybe some votes to be found in Michigan. And
that's the first time I looked it up in U.S. history ever that someone didn't come out and give a concession speech.
Right. So all they really need to do is flip 5 counties in 3 swing states. Hillary can get 300% of the vote in 5 counties in 3 swing states. When Republicans start complaining, Attorney General Keith Ellison will call them racist and put them on the watch list for hate speech. That's how close it was last time. They can flip a few counties through all these tricks, and it's not inconceivable. Don't forget, Hillary has $1 billion stored away for a rainy day. I mean, you didn't really think that all that Russian money that went to the Clinton Foundation actually went to hungry children in Haiti, do you?
Absolutely. Let me come back and give you, I'm going to go give some inside baseball out here, but you know why they're putting all this Sandy Hook stuff out against me in the news that's twisted, not accurate, and why they're also doing all the other Pizzagate things that aren't accurate against me. Democrats at the highest level have been told they're going to partially run on that in 2020, equating Trump with me, even though Hillary already did in 2016, it didn't work. So that's another reason, they're running thousands of articles demonizing me just to get name recognition up as negative with Democrats to use me against Trump, which is another reason I was told by Washington insiders, yeah, dude, they're not running all these ads for nothing. Because these aren't news articles. These are paid ads. Newsweek and all these other groups coming out of the scandal have been paid to run all this disinformation against George Shirley. So that's another sign Hillary is in there. They're not doing all these attack pieces on me just for fun. They are building me up as a demon to hurt Trump. Well, looks like Trump may get his wish. Hillary Clinton is running for president 2020. You're hearing exclusive with Jill Gilbert. But here's the president talking about it recently.
I hope Hillary runs. Is she going to run? I hope. Hillary, please run again. Go ahead. He was going to take Nancy Pelosi's place. And I was so disappointed because I want to keep Nancy Pelosi right where she is with Maxine Waters. I want to keep Nancy Pelosi. Please, I'm going to make a plea to my Democrat friends. Please, please, please don't remove Nancy Pelosi. She should be where she is. And please keep Maxine Waters on the air as your face and your mouthpiece for the Democrat Party. Please.
Now, I will tell you, I have talked to folks in the Trump system, very high level, and I just told them, hey, clearly they're running thousands of articles a month saying things about me and Sandy Hook, things I said demonizing me, Trump, trying to president. And I know Hillary's behind it, and other financing. I know that Soros is paying the news to run these articles. This is paid false content. It's bigger than just shutting me down. And they told me, oh, no, we're fully aware of that. I'm just like, Hillary spent $18 million on one ad of clips of myself edited out of context to then say this is Trump's buddy. But the crazy thing is they're running against the economy that's doing better, thousands of new factories, all this good things Trump's doing. And then they think it's going to be Alex Jones. I'm not kidding. That is what they already ran against Trump with Alex Jones as one of their main centerpieces. This is bizarre. This is Twilight Zone. So I didn't need to write myself as a gonzo journalist into the story here. But that's indeed what's happened, Joel. So give me your take on that, and then let's get back into your seminal piece. Here's why Hillary Clinton is running again in 2020. And she is running. She's got her people that told them, I've had the calls, I've done the legwork, it's true. And then you lay out why this is happening. Let me just remind folks, here's the Washington Post. How a film about Obama's communist real father won at the Federal Elections Commission. And they've tried multiple times. The FBI's been questioning people like you and I in association with Roger Stone. Criminal investigation. The new ones have been opened. This one was closed on you in 2016. They wanted to lock you up, saying it's a federal election violation for you to make a movie about Obama 3 years before. So this shows how anti-free speech, and the same Democrats on the Federal Elections Commission, as you know, wanted me arrested as well for my films. So Joe, let's just remember where we beat Hillary got in and why this is so dangerous. But let's go back to what you were getting into in your piece breaking down why it's the perfect storm for her to run again.
Right, we're going to, it is a perfect storm. Look, the Electoral College heavily favors Democrats still. In the key swing states, they're already busy registering new voters, illegal voters, motor voter, you name it. And they certainly have deep state leftists in the government that they expect are going to leak things about Trump right before the election. Tom Arnold, the actor, has been claiming he's got an Access Hollywood type of tape that would damage Trump badly. So Hillary thinks she has a real shot at it, no matter what. And what would happen, I think, in that case, if she ever won, and that's why, had she been president now, we would have had, Attorney General James Comey, McCabe, the head of the FBI, and Loretta Lynch on the Supreme Court, and all of the amendments would be under attack. First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment. And as you mentioned, my movie Dreams of My Real Father, where I think I proved that Obama's real father was not the Kenyan Obama. He was not the son of a goat herder from Kenya. His father was a Soviet agent who had misraised him in Hawaii and radicalized him in his youth. And
by the way, your film is absolutely conclusive. I mean, it is just out the park, documented. You cracked the case.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alex. And look, I didn't exactly win at the FEC, like it said on the Washington Post. It was tied 3-3. The 3 Republicans wanted to dismiss it because I'm a media entity like CNN, like Infowars. If you're a media entity that's been established for 30, 50 years, you're not in an election. You're just getting opinions and information. 3 Democrats on the FEC wanted to forward me to the Justice Department for prosecution, so it died 3-3. So had Hillary won, she would have appointed another commissioner to break the ties or got rid of one of the Republicans, and every conservative would be on a hate speech list, and you could be prosecuted.
The very same time they did that to Infowars, it actually said, we refer him for Russia collusion to the Justice Department, but then they voted against it. And it's totally insane. But it shows what would have happened if Hillary would have gotten in. And so they think they've got more than a Hail Mary here, and it's all lined up. Like you said, no real candidates are running against Trump. Hillary's got the work. She wants to stay in the power structure, release her party, so that she can not get indicted. So what do we start doing ahead of time to defeat her? So notice the Democrat operatives are always saying, leave Hillary alone. She's a pass. Their bots attack us and say, Jones, quit talking about Hillary. She's a pass. No. They don't want us exposing her now and going after her now because they want to keep her ready in the bleachers to, right on the field in the fourth quarter. So what do you think is a smart strategy we should be doing against Hillary right now to really savage her?
I think the main battle is going to be on the voter fraud issue, voter ID issues, because that's where they're raging their battles in all the different states. I want to point out one other thing from the Democrat point of view. Some of them may see Hillary as cannon fodder, just like Bob Dole was running against Clinton. They may say, you know what, Trump may be unbeatable. Let's let her be cannon fodder, and we might even be better off with 4 more years of Trump. We'll tell everybody that he's racist and sexist, and we'll set ourselves up for the ultimate death match for America in 2024, capitalism versus socialism, and maybe we'll have a younger, newer candidate, probably an ethnic candidate, like Joe Biden said about Obama, articulate and bright and clean, but even more radical, another stealth radical. So they may not even care so much about winning the nomination and taking it from Hillary Clinton. That's another reason that she knows the nomination can be hers, But watch out, because Hillary will want to win at all costs. She has the money, and I think they've specialized in voter fraud for so many years. Back in Chicago, every cemetery voted. That's how Obama got into the state senate in the first place. So I think the economy and the public is going to get it. The big issue is going to be, can they manipulate the votes? George Soros, of course, the voting machine manufacturer. What a coincidence, he's in that business. I think
a third of the machines people vote on. And let's also not forget, Joel, that they're going to be trying to have race riots, like they tip their hat, their hand. They want to sabotage the economy. So they got a lot of things going that they think will allow them to defeat Trump. They also keep saying, don't worry, he's an anomaly. We're going to get him out of there in one term now. So you're right. They're confident come in. They think they can defeat Trump. Hillary is running.
I think Hillary's running, and they feel like she knows she has a path to nomination, and they feel that there's a path to defeat Trump. Even if they don't defeat Trump, I think they're going to spend the next 4 years agitating race baiting and racist illegals and trying to have that ultimate death match against a personality that's not as strong as Trump. But Hillary absolutely has, I think, the ability through her $10 billion of free earned media. Don't forget. People forget it was 95% negative about Trump on the earned media. You've got Tom Arnold saying he's got damning tapes. Anything could happen. So the stakes are going to be so high in 2020. I think patriots are going to have to rally once again to prevent Hillary Clinton from closing the door on the Constitution.
Do you think Drudge's prophecy is coming true, that it will just be President Hillary out in the future in a glass jar with bubbles like a science fiction movie?
If it was up to Hillary, she would do it. She's probably, using some of that $1 billion to see how she can be preserved. A lot of our thinking that, well, she's too frail. She's been fainting and falling down her whole life. I have inside sources that she's always kind of been in some level of frail health. So from her point of view, it's nothing really that new, whereas conservatives are just kind of seeing it on display for the first time because she's out in the public so much. But I think she'll take herself together in any way.
She's always been a little Coke bottle glasses, little frail vampire bat. Right. It doesn't mean she can't climb up on top of us with her little tooth, her little Nosferatu's, and cut a little circle and lap some juicy blood up. But she represents pedophiles and everything else she's involved in. I mean, this is a vampire bat from hell. We're going to come back, do 5 minutes of Joe Gilbert, then I'm going to shift gears to a bunch of other news. Stay with us. Remember, they're trying to censor us and block us. Tell folks about your local radio stations. Tell them about local TV. Spread those live links to Infowars.com, the live video and audio feeds. That's how we bypass the censors. You are the resistance. So we kicked off the Hillary for President movement. We're going to lock her up. We put 100,000 t-shirts on the streets. We got a new one that's Relap 45 that I think should be a similar shirt. And InfoWarsStore.com, we got some of Joel Gilbert's films as well. If you haven't seen James My Real Father, they try to put in jail for it. I mean, wow, they don't like Joel Gilbert. They don't like me. But Joel, you're a smart guy. Let me bring this up. They've really got it out for you, for myself, for Roger Stone, for others. It's been very effective. Conservatively, Danny Williams' film that only cost $35,000 reached close to 40 million people. ENT targeted demographic urban black areas. It really resonated. We saw poll numbers go that way. You see Trump doubling his numbers of black males, doubling his numbers of Hispanics in many polls, and they're really panicking. But then you look at their men against women angle, all white people are racist angle, abolish ICE angle, and then Alex Jones, was mean to shooting victims' families, and Trump knows him. I mean, that's one of their main campaign things. And I just don't think that's going to be successful. Why do you think they're going with that? Or give me your media expertise on what you think they're going to do. I'm just selfishly wanting to know your view.
Yeah, look, socialism and liberalism is completely vapid. It's void of facts. It's void of any reason to support economic policies where you take property from the individual, where the government controls everything and everybody, where you need a police force to force people to work. And somehow this is going to reach happiness, utopia, peace on earth with the head of the party as the God on earth. This entire system has been tried in the 20th century and resulted in 150 million people killed in peacetime in their own countries. So there's no policy that can possibly run on. So they're desperate to think of things that might say, he's so mean, or he knows this guy. And they just don't have any creativity. Socialism itself is a war against creativity. So they don't have any left. They proved themselves, the Clintons proved in the 1990s, that somebody can commit rape and sexual abuse and the voters don't care. So they're pretty stupid to try something like that against Trump. In the last
when he didn't even do it, and it reminds everybody what they did.
Exactly. So they just lack any creativity, an ounce of creativity. There's the ones that colluded with Russia. They paid $12 million to the DNC, to pay Fusion DPS, to pay a bunch of Russian KGB, $300,000 per page. So they're so uncreative. All they can do is say, Trump colluded with Russia. They have nothing. They have no creativity in their minds. And this is the kind of stuff you're going to get.
Exactly. I didn't even know this till this weekend. Nunez is going up 45, 44 people now. And what he released was, did you know they created another Fusion DPS that was really part of it? And they gave it $50 million. And then Nunez found another $20 million. So 50, 18, 20. I mean, we're talking about close to $90 million here that they spent on this stuff. What is that?
Well, let's circle the conversation back. Hillary was funding the DNC because they were broke. They got broke again, paying off Russians to write all this fiction. So the DNC is broke again. So Hillary has the same opportunity she did 4 years ago. She can offer to fund the DNC if she can call the shots. That way she's going to control what happens, control the debate, the schedule, and make herself the nominee. She's just going to repeat the same losing formula, except you got to be aware of voter fraud.
Joel Gilbert, you are absolutely on fire, my friend, and you're on target, and it absolutely makes sense, and we just have to get organized and figure out how we're going to try to counter this and make sure we do make the country great again. It's a race against pure evil. God bless you. Folks, you find your films at InfoWarsStore.com or JoelGilbert.net, and join us again soon and tell us about the next project you've got coming out.
Okay, I'll be hosting on Friday, the 4th hour, so I'll be updating the audience at that time.
Okay, fantastic. We'll be right back with a bunch of clips, a bunch of breaking news I haven't even gotten to yet. Back in 60 seconds, please stay with us. We've got Theresa May trying to sabotage the Brexit, and the British voters are hopping mad. We've got Macron walking back mass migration, tells migrants to succeed in Africa after he called for 200 million Africans to come to Europe. And his actions are opening the borders up, so these people just don't get how they're awakening, folks. There's also an article up on DrudgeReport.com that's really critical. Michael Schneider from economiccollapseblog.com. It's posted to Infowars.com. Mass exodus from the church. The percentage of young adults with no religious affiliation has nearly quadrupled since 1986. And I'm going to talk later in the next segment about why that's happened. It's been done by design. Because these are no longer churches, ladies and gentlemen. They're little devil centers in most cases. So we're going to be looking at all of that. And now I got another article, Dan Lyman, head of Infowars Europe with EuropeWars.com. He is here in town working with us on a business visit from his home base in Switzerland. And he's going to be in studio to talk about the awakening of Europe, but the next big wave coming in is bigger than the one we just saw in the last 5 years, and the troops in Austria, Hungary, Poland, bracing for the human waves. You've seen those famous drone videos of tens of thousands, a giant snake. That is all coming up. Too dangerous. National Postal Service suspends service to another Islamic enclave in Sweden. So now they admit no-go zones all over Europe. When just 2 years ago, they had BBC articles, London Guardian articles, saying Paul Joseph Watson was a white supremacist and was an insane liar, basically. They don't even say that anymore because blow up in the face. That he claimed there were no go zones. Well, he just been at one with people threatening to kill him with Joe Biggs and our crew. Shootings, bombings, you name it, are exploding. And it's like Beirut, and the British government just put a travel advisory out on going to Sweden. Sweden had the lowest crime rate in Europe after Switzerland now. It is hellish. And they're bringing in populations that after 5 years, 90% don't have jobs. And they only deport you if you try to get one. That's in Germany, Sweden, the same social policy. They want huge, angry, disenfranchised Muslim groups that come from literal dirt floor villages where women are sold on slave blocks and don't know what planet they're on, running around foaming at the mouth on welfare, ready to be politically directed. And after they killed Gaddafi, who was stabilizing much of Africa, it got 20 times worse. It was all planned out. See, if you can industrialize and educate people in North Africa, then you can bring them in, but you can't bring them in from road warrior scenarios. But enough of that. That's coming up. Right now, we are going to go to this little compilation. I've seen a lot of these compilations, and I think Trump's right. I tweeted this out today. And we're going to tweet out right now, Alex Jones, you should retweet it. To remember why the globalists are angry. Remember why the Democrats are so upset. Remember why they're foaming at the mouth. Remember why they are so aggressive and trying to bully people. Because their identity is controlling you and running your life. And they all said Trump could win, or they said Trump didn't want to win. And they said when he won, he would never turn the economy around, never have 1% growth rate. Just like they told me when I was 19 years old and went in and tried to audition with a tape and tried to work at a radio station. They said, "Talk radio, want you, boy." Laughed at me. Then I got my first radio show, and it was #1 within a year in the city of Austin, #1 period. Then they fired me because I wouldn't stop talking about Bill Clinton. And the rest is history. So I love them, and we've got the right stuff. And America has the right stuff, and you've got the right stuff. No matter what color you are, or where you came from, if you love God, if you love justice, if you have common sense, you've got the right stuff. We're not going to live dependently on these globalists anymore. But it's important to remember why they hate Infowars, why they hate Trump, why they hate you, why they hate our military, which has been used for bad things. The globalists are there's problems, but it's still men and women that are willing to stand up and do something. Men and women that are willing to fight. You think they're cowards like Hillary Clinton and her stolen glory, like Brian Williams told the same type story about being shot at and shot down and all this crap? Do you think they like strong people? Little, weak, weaselly people like them are the ones that always serve evil because they lust after power, because they don't have innate power. When you have innate power, it's not arrogance, it's not pride, it's a understanding. And you don't want to prey on the weak. Not these people, they want to prey on you and your family. So here's the video they don't want you to see.
I am officially running for president of the United States.
But you actually win.
No freaking way.
The Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election.
Donald Trump.
There's not going to be a president, Donald Trump.
Trump will not be president.
Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
We're not going to be president.
A man who will never be president of the United States.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States. To the bank.
He will never be president.
Donald Trump is not going to become president of the United States. He's at plus 19. Do you think it takes me the difference? Of course! It made all the difference.
This race is over.
Hillary Clinton has raised more than double Donald Trump, vastly outspending him.
The presidency at about 89% for Hillary Clinton.
Your analytical model has never been wrong. Now projects Hillary Clinton to win presidential election. 100% chance. You still think she has a 100% chance of winning the election?
I do.
What would Donald Trump have to do to turn things around?
Prayer and hope for a Festivus miracle.
This is CNN's coverage of election night in America. The fight for the presidency.
Okay, happy country. Who cares? Kentucky, Indiana. Okay. Indiana, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas, Nebraska, and Wyoming, North Dakota, and South Dakota, Texas.
Up and down the middle of the country, all that.
Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri.
It was at 80% an hour ago. It was like, what is it now? 68%.
Okay, I got I'm nervous. Ohio, gone.
Idaho.
Yeah, I don't see a last night here. I don't see it at all.
North Carolina.
If we need Florida, are you me?
Florida.
It is kind of time.
Georgia.
Donald Trump not favored to win the presidency.
Iowa.
New York Times now has it at 95% chance.
Utah.
To still win, but in order to do so, she has to win Wisconsin.
God damn. Arizona.
Alaska.
Pennsylvania.
What a night.
Do you remember when the New York Times, for the entire election, in the primaries and right through election day, had Hillary at 98% chance of winning? Now, by election day, it has their bet, it dropped to 82%, I remember. And you just saw the pundit talk about that from election night. And then as the night went on, by 10 o'clock at night, they had it projected 50-50. They're not God. They're not God, ladies and gentlemen. They just tell you that there's no such thing as mothers and fathers. There's only 500 genders. They tell you vaccines are safe and effective. They tell you GMO is good for you. They tell you communism and socialism is good. And it's all this mind game with some pumpkin-headed demon witch with a bunch of scumbag Hollywood trash running around calling for civil war and death and saying we're in a civil war. And I go, okay, we're in a civil war. And they go, ha, 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 all over the news, Alex Jones says we're in a civil war. What a kook. It's only on the cover of USA Today. He only predicted it all. Gosh, he keeps being right. What do we do? Just ridicule him. Coming to you from deep in Red State, Texas, attempting a takeback of the California invasion zone known as Austin. I am your host, promoting Americana, libertarian, classical liberal ideas in the face of the fascistic cult of evil that is the New World Order, George Soros, Hillary Clinton, the big mega banks, the tech titans, all the censors, the EU, the unelected globalist system, the Chi-Com menace, funding the entire vicious system. Set up to bring down America, but in the 11th hour, in the 59th minute, not just here in the U.S., but all over the world, populist and nationalist began to rise. That's how it always works in history, not just in movies. That in that final minute, the challenger arises. And when the challenger doesn't arise, evil takes over, and you get the nightmares we've seen that killed over 200 million people in the last century. They've already killed tens of millions this century. Collectivism, all of its flavors, normally socialist and communist. Now, despite the good things that are happening, here's the bad thing. We're becoming dependent on machines. We're becoming soft. Yes, we're politically awakening to the corrupt globalists, but not to their actual operations, breaking up the family, dehumanizing us, and taking over institutions. Now, I'm not going to engage in a historical treatise right now, because that's really breaking news, on how the World Council of Churches and the National Council of Churches in the last 70 years took over via the ecumenical movement, everything from the Catholic Church to the main Protestant Church, to the ecumenical system we see today, where most churches are New Age brainwashing centers. I mean, you go to mainline Methodist churches, other mainline ones, and you go to the actual study classes, it's Aleister Crowley stuff. Cheap dipped as Rosicrucian. It is Masonic garbage. And I don't mean the classic nations like George Washington. I mean the whole Illuminati Masonic movement that George Washington wrote more than 10 letters on. You can read online, Library of Congress, in his own handwriting, in HD. how the old Masonic movement was being taken over by devil worshippers, and how our revolution was not the French Revolution. So you have to understand, everything you face, communism, all of it comes out of the Jack books. And I've had historians and British lords on, and Masonic experts. I mean, I've got History Channel and Discovery Channel shows where I'm the experts on Masonry. And that's why they make you the expert on Mason, because I don't study all the separate sects and handshakes and the learning of the lore to become a Mason. I know its history. I know what it really is. I know the different branches of it. I know what 33rd degree Masons know. I just skipped ahead to the end. And I was told by family all about it from the time I was a young child, because I've had ancestors, some of them that were 33rd degree Masons. Texas was founded by Masons, but they were the original type Masons. Super Christian, totally devout, but it was more of a true Rosicrucian type movement, but not even practicing, proto-Christian, from before it got taken over and manipulated. And there were always a cult that claimed that they were actually true Christians, but it goes the whole Gnostic Christianity. And all that really means is hidden, but not in the occult sense of a modern cult, because it means devil. A cult only means hidden, because you'll get killed if anybody knows what you're really practicing, aka pilgrims trying to find a place to practice true Christianity and build a new Atlantis, which they believe they would do and which they've now done. And I come from those people. So the point is, it's not bragging. You have to understand the core of all this before you can understand the bigger fight. The Jacobins launched and took over France and killed millions of people, and they targeted the upright. They weren't trying to get rid of royalty. They were getting rid of one branch of royalty, and they brought in Napoleon Bonaparte after that. So they always bring in communism. Well, it's not Karl Marx or Engels that invented it. It was the Jacobins. They were the communes, the guillotines, all of it. 9-day work week, change the calendar, abolish the family. You've heard of all that before. And so that's where we are today. And they took over the churches. They tricked them into becoming 501c3 to become charities, so they would lose their First Amendment power of being outside the government under separation of church and state. See, Christians have been thought, oh, Thomas Jefferson's horrible. He had separation of church and state, and that's why we can't have, our kid hand out Christmas cards or say they love Jesus or have I love Jesus on their lunchbox. Your child has a total right as a private independent citizen to do that. The school can't say he will serve this branch of religion. So they turn that around, overthrow the First Amendment. Congress will make no law respecting the establishment of religion or free exercise thereof. And so once you see that set up, and once you understand that, then they just took over all the churches, told them they couldn't be political, claimed everything under the sun is political. The Democrats want to arrest me and Joe Gilbert for making films about Obama. Yeah, Obama deception and bring her old father. They said violate the Federal Elections Commission. They say drug violates the Federal Elections Commission. They want him shut down. They came shy of one vote of criminal indictment or referring criminal indictment to the Justice Department of Matt Drudge for his website linking to the news. So I digress. I was going to say earlier, mass exodus from the church, the percentage of young adults with no religious affiliation has nearly quadrupled since 1986. And they bring in the video games, they bring in the slime fights, they bring in the paintball. No one wants to go to church because they're not churches, they're social clubs. What they need to hear is real teaching about the world and the nature of good and evil and the spiritual world all around us, because in that is the spiritual power, and people will feel it and they will see it, and you won't be able to keep them away from it. I guarantee you that if I went to start a church, within 2 years it'd have 10,000 members every Sunday. And I'm not even that good of a preacher. I would just lay out the Bible and talk about the contest between good and evil and compare it every day. It'd be 3 hours of preaching every Sunday. People aren't in churches because they're not hearing what the church really is. A coming together of the brethren, an understanding, and a launching of that operation out in the world to save people. But now you've got the great falling away taking place because they shut the churches down. And I'm not saying you can't have the Spirit of God, Spirit of Christ, the Holy Spirit, the church is 501c3. There are a lot of people still preach the gospel in 501c3, but there's so few of them that you ask why is everybody falling away? Because they got rid of the real churches and the real Holy Spirit being in those churches. Dan Lyman, who heads up Infowars Europe, is doing a super good job covering Davos and all different no-go zones, Bilderberg, you name it. Had quite the adventures. I'm trying to get him to get set up to start hiring some more crew because he's been a one-man wrecking ball so far. He heads up EuropeWars.com. He's in studio with us. Great to have you visiting the ATX, my friend. We're going to get back to you in a minute and break down all of the scale of the invasion. Obviously, the next wave's here. Macron walking back to his statements about bringing 200 million North Africans. Obviously, he's still trying to do it. Now he's having to back off. I'm saying we'll get that all here in just a moment. Breaking news on Infowars.com. Go away. Liberals rejecting Hillary 2020 en masse. Sorry, liberals. You voted for Bernie, she took the nomination, and she's got billions, and the Democrats are broke. She owns you. See those eyes? She owns you. It's called a megalomaniac psycho trip. It's called a power trip, and she owns you, and that's the way it is. The Kit Daniels article. Also, this is having more and more up on Infowars.com from Chris Anahan from InformationLiberation.com. Blogger rats out source to A. Mueller witch hunt. Media cheers are breaching all journalistic codes. And so more and more, I won't talk to Democrat reporters and leftists because they'll lie about what I've said, they'll misrepresent, and they will then, if you do tell them something off record, they will burn you every time. They have no standards. You cannot work with them, and they're getting worse. So that's all coming up. Obviously, we're going to have extended live coverage tonight, not just till 6 o'clock of war, but right through 8 o'clock Central and after when President Trump makes the announcement of his Supreme Court nominee. So be sure and know that that's happening tonight. Take part in information warfare. Spread the live links with everybody you know. Now, again, before we go to Dan Lyman, just briefly here, it's the Second American Revolution sale. We don't have new sales yet. New ones. We're launching on Wednesday. So today, tomorrow are the last days to get 50% off many of our best-selling items like Rainforest, Rebel Steel X, 40% off. Sorry, discount too much. Knockout Sleep Support, Silver Bullet is $9.95 and free shipping. Same stuff sold by Whole Foods for $20 or more. You just cannot beat that deal. Super Mail, 50% off free shipping, low in stock. DNA 4% off free shipping. That's a huge deal. The Real Red Pill Plus now with energy 50% off free shipping, and it just goes on and on. Super Blue, fluoride-free toothpaste products for 5 o'clock silver 99. Those are 50% off and free shipping. These are some of the best deals ever on these items. Electric Pure Breeze is $100 off a 4-stage ion filter. Leading competitors are $500, $600. We first started selling these at $300, prices on down. So right now it's $149. And $250 is a great deal. So for your children, for yourself, and on the Infowar, check out Electric Pure Breeze and water filters as well on your filters at InfoWarsStore.com. Or call toll-free to answer all your questions. 24 hours a day, take your orders as well. 888-253-3139. You built Infowars, and you've built and funded our expansion. In the face of Soros and Hillary's assaults and their lawsuits, we're winning, but only because you have gotten past the censors, you've shared the articles, you've prayed for us, and you have bought the products. Again, Dan Lyman is an American writer, political analyst, and culture commentator. After years of fronting a successful right man, he answered the call to true journalism and defense of civilization, and now serves as foreign correspondent for Infowars Europe, and he's at Citizen Analyst on Twitter, at Facebook, at Citizen Analyst as well. Dan, great to have you here.
Great to be here. Thanks.
And you've gone to Australia, on your own dime, you've done so much for the fight. We really appreciate you. Let's get into what you characterize what's happening in Europe now, the awakening, but also the globalist counter-strike. They appear to be much bigger than the last battering ram of tens of millions of military men.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like we're watching the simultaneous invasion of North America and also in Europe, and it's happening at the same time. It's happening in many of the same ways.
essays, and we were just watching some other stuff back from 2015, and it's amazing to see this stuff playing out again. So back then there was about hundreds of thousands that poured into Europe from Africa and from the Middle East through Turkey and also across the Mediterranean route, and then it kind of cooled off a little bit supposedly, and now we have a completely new invasion going on across the Mediterranean again. But of course, Italy is not really as receptive as they were in the past, so it looks like they're using Spain now more often, and also they've kind of forged a new route through the Balkans. There was a previous Balkan route that went up through Macedonia, Serbia, and into Hungary that was shut down temporarily. They found another way to get up through. They call it the Moscow route, and the foreign minister of Hungary has recently noted that the new surge that he has seen some evidence of could be worse than 2015, and I think that of course we should expect that to be incoming at some point.
And let's be 100% clear. This is the admitted UN plan. The UN says, oh, it's gotten so bad, we'll build the refugee centers in Spain, in France, all over, and then we'll bring the people in and incentivize them, and then the UN will represent them inside your country, and the EU will declare an emergency, and is going to use its military to block Italy and others from stopping tens of thousands a week pouring in off Soros-owned Zodiac boats. And when I say that, Soros brags. He spent $500 million this year alone just on the ferries. So they call them rescues. Now the people are being picked up 100 miles off Libya, and then they are being brought in. I mean, imagine every few hours, boats landing, literally invasion boats with George Soros. You can't make this up.
You can't, and there has been some interesting action on that. I just received a press release from AfD, which is Alternative for Deutschland. That's the kind of the opposition party there. They're growing very quickly in numbers, and they're growing very powerful. They have actually filed criminal charges against some of these NGOs. Some of them operate out of Germany, some out of the Netherlands, some out of Spain, but they have just filed criminal charges against the organizations that are involved with them, as well as just some of the shit.
It violates human smuggling, especially with some children, where you say, get 100 miles off, we'll grab you, and illegally dump you on the shore. If you're right, we'd be locked up, we should.
Right, and in some cases, I think it's more like 10 to 12 miles. They don't have to get far out at all.
No.
And the boat.
No. I got flipped right. It's 12 miles, and they bring 100. You're right.
Yeah.
It's only like 120 miles out. You're right.
Right, and so
they bring out 10, and then they bring across.
Right, and some of these journeys are just, they boggle the mind in the distance. When he just came into Spain and Valencia, that was like a 1,000-kilometer journey where they were just off the coast of Libya to start off with, and a lot of people have pointed out they could easily have just brought them to Tunis and Tunisia, and the port there was safe. It was definitely somewhere that they could have gone.
Let's be clear, when they blew up Gaddafi and ruined all that infrastructure he built, it opened it all up to Central Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, in these huge migration lanes to bring them right in Europe.
And he did want that would happen ahead of time. Another interesting development is that Matteo Salvini has been in Libya meeting with the Libyan government, offering to incentivize them to build migrant holding centers, detention centers in the south of Libya, not even at the coast, to keep them from even reaching some of the ports.
Let's be clear, that's a good thing to do, because Africa's population is about to double. It's already astronomical. If I pull up the latest census on Africa, best estimation, we could take 500 billion, it wouldn't do anything. It's just insane. This will only collapse everything. We have to stabilize Africa.
Absolutely. If you watch the Humboldt presentation, that tells you everything you need to know about how it's totally impossible to mitigate the issues of the third world without staying strong as countries on our own end. I mean,
that's Numbers USA.
I believe so. That's the right one.
We should get Numbers USA back on, because that's what's crazy. Read below us, Report 49 to His Majesty, the British High Commission. And they said we'd go and stabilize, industrialize these countries and only have 2 kids, because we believe our populations happen in some areas. Instead they go, no, we're just going to balloon their population and use them as cheap labor and layer a weapon against the West in reverse colonization. They've done everything they can. When you've got people starving in a country, not giving them their own science to feed themselves, but you just feed people, then they double, then you got to feed double, then you got to feed double again. It's impossible.
And what they do to these neighborhoods, they completely change the neighborhoods. I mean, we've seen there's no-go zones all over the place, and they're growing in number, and they get downplayed as not no-go zone, because technically you could walk into them, but you don't want to. I was just in one in Italy, and it was I wanted to walk through to get some footage, and I just didn't feel comfortable entering.
Our crew got death threatened continually. I mean, it's almost it's actually more dangerous than being conservative. Dan Lyman, who heads up the Infowar News Bureau and is trying to recruit some great folks over in Europe, is very prolific. He's writing shotgun this a little bit in the next hour. We've also got Stan Dale giving his perspective on world events. But look at this article. Far-right pair banned from Auckland Council venues. They've been just banned from anywhere to speak. And it's Laura Southern, who they call extremist, and Stefan Molyneux. They say you're a cult leader. You can call Stefan Molyneux the opposite of individualist type guy. So England's actually physically banning Michael Savage and thousands of others coming in to criticize radical Islam. But meanwhile, we'll bring in Somalis, you name it, from places that are fully failed countries. I'm not saying all Somalis are bad people, but statistically, one of the highest crime rates, rape rates, suicide attack rates. Here's an article on EuropeWars.com. Somali sentenced to community service for raping Swedish minor. And that's why EuropeWars is like a clearinghouse for this, because it's like every hour. There's a new one where they're cutting a little baby's head off and the police cover it up. Or too dangerous. The Postal Service in Sweden is no longer delivering many large areas of cities to deliver packages to migrant suburbs, saying it's too dangerous. The British government, the UK, issued a warning not to go in these areas. 50 years ago, Dan, they were denying this. So get into the no-go zones. You've been into them.
I have, and I actually have been in them a couple years before the real invasion, which started in 2015. They were around long before that. So I was traveling, I spent a month traveling through Europe in 2012, and I inadvertently ended up staying in a couple of them where I couldn't even believe that I was in Europe, Hamburg, Germany, and also in Paris. And I had never heard of these things, a no-go zone, or just I hadn't even heard that Europe had changed so much. I was kind of naive back then. And encountered issues in Stockholm, Sweden. There were Iraqi men who were menacing my wife, and I couldn't believe that I was in Sweden at that time as well. So I've just watched this developing over time. And
we're also so used to how polite Europeans are. I can tell you, anywhere in Texas, don't care if you're a Hispanic guy, black guy, white guy, somebody starts menacing your wife, they're going to get their ass kicked.
Right.
But I mean, I've been in Europe just filming on the street, and then Muslims would say, you infidel, turn your camera off, you don't film me. I'm like, dude, I'm filming the parliament. Sorry, you're 100 yards away in the shot. And then I'm like, they'll start threatening me, and I'll say, well, let's go. Then they back off. I guess they're so used to Europeans, Swedish men especially. Like, what are they like?
Well, they can be very intimidating for sure. And
I mean, what's up with European men?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, I just lived in Iceland last year for a year, and I expected this kind of healthy, kind of a Viking culture, very manly. It is completely not that case at all. I would say that feminism and cultural Marxism has dulled a lot of guys down, and it's just the cool thing to do is to be a soy boy at this point, and that's prevalent across Europe until you reach the eastern regions, and things are a little bit different over there.
Now, why is it the East now that's like classical? They're like Western Europe. You heard about.
It's I think a lot of them would attribute that to being kind of behind the Iron Curtain for a long time and not being exposed to a lot of things that Western Europe was exposed to, and they've just been through hard times and they don't want to go back to those hard times. So when you go to places like Poland and Hungary,
they know to reject everything the left tells them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's no perfect place, but these places are far and away better off than a lot of these Western countries.
Well, I've been told by Roger Stone that spoke to some president from East. He said Infowars stuff is everywhere. I'm not bragging, but that's a good ping. I mean, as an Infowars head of Europe operations, what do you see as far as people's attitude towards Infowars Trump?
Definitely more pro-Trump. I encountered a lot of Trump backlash in Iceland when I was living there, and also just in like Ireland. I have family there, very anti-Trump. But once you get into places like Croatia and Slovenia, Hungary, it's a lot more just generally a more conservative feeling culture. And they don't like to talk politics as much either. People in Western Europe will jump, as soon as they hear you're American, they'll make a Trump joke right away, and they have no problem saying that because they feel comfortable. They're surrounded with people who think all think the same way, and it's just not the case.
Europe, especially Eastern Europe, is waking up, but we see signs in Germany, France. Poll numbers show nationalist common sense is exploding as well.
Absolutely. And, when you look at the polling numbers, I just did an article recently, immigration and terrorism, they just dominate when they do public opinion polls as to what is the issue that is most important to you and in the hierarchy. And immigration is number one, as it is in the United States as well. Of course, that's why we have Trump. And also, you were mentioning Australia and New Zealand. I was just in Australia as well. And they have the same issues in Australia that we have in Europe and in North America with immigration and related crime surge.
And just when I get feedback from people in Australia and New Zealand, you'd think they're a bunch of soy boy economies, but actually they're more awake than the U.S. Or even Eastern Europe from what I've seen. That's why their government keeps their thumb on them and tries to shut down speech and tries to ridicule it because they know that they got the tiger by the tail of the Aussies.
Absolutely, definitely. And like you said, New Zealand's a little more, I don't know if they're more woke, but they just don't have the same issues there yet. I don't know if they just haven't been pounded with just hardcore amounts of immigration. We were just in Melbourne, and they said they're doing 150,000 new residents every year. And of course, a lot of these residents, they're not Australians necessarily moving in from countries.
And the issue is, if you find they came in assimilated, they're brought in, and the left takes control of them and keeps them disenfranchised and has no intention of trying to even create an economy for them.
Right. They always tell us we need these people as workers and as taxpayers. As we well know, a lot of the migrants that have arrived since 2015 in Europe, at least like 90% of them in many areas,
90%,
don't have a job. So of course they're not paying taxes.
Germany's, the UN's numbers are 84 to 90. We've seen those. Well, I've read all over that if you try to get a job, then you're deported.
Right. There are stories like that. If you're a productive migrant, then it's a little bit harder. That's just like in the United States. When you play by the rules, you immigrate the right way. It's much harder for you than it is to just show up at the border.
And Trump's just trying to, like Ellis Island, do some checking, make sure you're not a criminal, you can fit in. He actually kind of has a classical Americana view on immigration. He says, we got to turn the economy back on. We got to be boom towns. We're going to vet people. We're not going to take, mentally ill people, criminals. Sorry, keep your ass where you're at.
Absolutely. And you have just recently in Italy when I was down there, talking to a journalist down there, and the town that I was in Turin, which is where Bilderberg was, crawling with migrants. Like I said, I was staying by one, had 1,000 migrants that were squatting in one little community. And he said, how could we possibly be bringing these people in as taxpayers and workers when employment is close to 20% and for the youth it's closer to 40%? So not only...
Take Spain, the youth, the unemployment's like 60.
Right, exactly. So not only are you bringing in the new foreign population supposedly to pay the taxes, you're driving out the younger folks, the entrepreneurs, the intelligent people.
Well, it creates a brain drain. Just the windmills bankrupt the state. And then now they're bringing 10 million illegals. I was in Italy. And under every tree, there's not really trees in Rome, under everything to be like 30, 40 people, feces everywhere. And the locals are just like, oh my God, this is horrible. I don't care if it was an Indian businessman in a business suit or, some, Roman woman with beautiful red hair or whatever. They're all disgusted by it, no matter what color you are, because they're all productive, walking along going, what the hell is this? No one's even taking care of them. They're just squatting everywhere.
Right, creating piles of trash, like you said, all over the place. And the videos that come out every single day, you can't even do a story on these things sometimes because it's just like a viral video and it's in Europe somewhere and it's a migrant in a fountain using it as a toilet. Or you have this video you're rolling right here. They're always attacking groups. They attack women. They attack lonely people. It's never like a one-on-one. They don't fight fair.
There's a disgust of sexy women. And remember, in Cologne, the mayor said, she's a feminist, don't wear short miniskirts. The German women want to go out and beat a girl on her miniskirts. I'm all for it. But they said, no, sexy German women, it's your fault. You're getting raped and attacked because the Islamists see a sexy woman. They don't think they can get her, so that you kill somebody, kick them downstairs like that.
Right, absolutely. I don't know what her recovery was, but she was messed up for a while. And then everybody else pays the price as well. Like in Sweden, they just canceled their largest music festival they have every year. That's, Swedish youth, and I'm sure Europeans from all around go to these festivals.
Don't you want to beat that guy's butt when he throws that woman upstairs?
Vile. And this kind of stuff happens all the time. You just had a migrant decapitate a baby on a train.
Oh, yeah, it's all folks about that. And police are trying to cover it up.
Right, yeah, exactly. And they're not letting them report on it. That was a story that I just caught on the plane on the way over here. But just vicious attacks all the time, especially on women and kids. A lot of kids get attacked as well. Elderly people, people over the age of 90 getting sexually assaulted in old folks' homes, and it's all getting papered over.
What's this thing where we're with the Islamic invaders? I see it every day. What's up with raping 90-year-old women? I'm not going to rape anybody. What's up with raping like women that are half dead? That sounds gross.
Sounds satanic to me. And apparently they don't care if it's a young child under the age of 10 or an elderly woman over the age of 90. So there's something more going on than just the pleasure.
It's just the act of power.
Domination.
Because I want to rape a super sexy woman. That doesn't sound fun, but man, a 9-year-old woman hooked up on tubes? Sounds like hell on earth, man.
It's evil. It's evil. Definitely.
Oh, sorry, we're exposing it. This all comes out of Soros. It all comes out of the UN's their plan. But guess what? Your plan ain't working. And a lot of the immigrants you brought in are waking up to you, and they don't want to go your route either. Dan Lyman's stay there. We'll be back with the third hour, and we got other surprise guests coming up. Tomorrow's News Today, newswars.com. Dan Lyman's in studio with us. He's going to be popping in throughout the next few days. He's visiting the Infowars News Center in Texas. He lives in Switzerland. He heads up Infowars Europe. Sandeo's coming up. He did the Ring of Fire. He's for years been predicting to really fire up. It certainly has. We also just did a big expedition in the Middle East and Africa, looking for what they believe is the mythical Garden of Eden. We're about all those cultures. That's coming up. Sandeo. We have an extra special guest popping in as well towards the end of this next hour. But that said, we're going to be doing extended live coverage tonight, right? 3 o'clock Central with Trump's announcement of who the new Supreme Court nominee is. And we're going to go at least an hour or two into that tonight. And remember, it's part of the resistance that the live feeds that will be available on satellite TV and radio. But to you listeners and viewers, share those links on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, the live feeds. That's how we get past the censors. That's how we get around what they're doing. We're doing it all the time against their shadow bans and all that. They get so upset. And Dan, despite last year, Zuckerberg promising Merkel that he would censor the anti-open borders people, it hasn't worked. And I don't see a place in Europe where the elections aren't being won by nationalists. How do you expect the globalists to strike back?
That's a good question. We see a lot of things happening even in the UK today. There's been some stuff developing with Theresa May and Brexit, where her cabinet is falling apart. Of course, Merkel just held on the skin of her teeth to her coalition there in Germany. So that's actually why I think my only speculation as to why Macron keeps going back and forth about this issue, because one minute he's saying let's prepare for 200 million Africans to invade. The next one he's saying we need to build Africa.
It's to confuse people. He's going to go with the globalist deal. He's just trying to pacify.
Right, because otherwise it probably oust him as well. His popularity ranking is very, very low right now. It's I think sub 40 if I'm not mistaken. So people are not happy with the job that he's doing. Of course, we're going to
he'll come over and say he loves Trump and say nationalist or leprosy, Trump scum, hoping no one doesn't go. But that's the worst thing is to say both things.
Right. He's spineless. He has really no position other than whatever his overlords tell him to the position to have. But he's kind of one of the last ones that's holding on now at this point, because now Merkel is threatened. Obviously in Sweden we have huge developments with the Swedish Democrats. They're doing really well. So we just watched this wave creep from east to west, and now it's like just converging in down on basically on France and Spain.
And I know why. Brussels. Exactly. I know why. There's such a cultural, historic memory in Eastern Europe. That's over 100 Islamic invasions took place. And then after that, the Nazis came in, and the Russians came in. They've been through so many invasions. They're the whole crossword grows the world that they know. And they understand what's happened before. They understand that the whole ethos of their nations was defeating the Islamic invasions. When I was in college, they taught that we invaded the Crusades. Hollywood movies show that. Ridley Scott makes these movies. No, they invaded us for 300 years before we turned the tide. When they almost took Germany and Poland, and then had to do a reconquista in Spain everywhere. We didn't invade the Muslims. And so that's just the reality.
Absolutely, and that's really the importance of getting these people in power, like Viktor Orban, Matteo Salvini. They will invoke the true history once they have the platform and have the support of the people. And then at that point, I think it'd be a lot harder to get them out for the EU folks. And as we keep installing more and more of them in Austria now, we have a great government there in Austria. They do have the work cut out for them, but they're there. So now they have the support of the people. The movement continues to grow. You have Salvini saying he's calling for a league of leagues. He's going to start binding all these movements together. He wants to kind of be the figurehead of that. It's going to create a huge problem for Brussels. I think it's starting to basically fracture the entire political spectrum in Europe, just cracking it in half right now.
But Spanish is the left joining the right, because the left going, oh my God, we're going to lose safety net. Exactly, dummies. That's globalist plan. And let me talk about the real history more on the war room today. I'm going to listen tonight during that live broadcast if you can. We'll be back with Sandeo. Dan, great to have you in person. Thanks. Really impressive work. You're awesome. Yes. Well, during the whole volcano situation in the Big Island, Kona, record level earthquakes, the worst they've ever had, since they were recording over 100 years of seismographs, huge lava ejections, as everyone knows. Other areas of the Pacific Rim really coming to life. With Sandeo, that I heard 10 years ago predicting this would happen. He's an interesting guy, engineer, worked on a lot of secret projects, you name it. But he's out of the country, visiting ancient sites, which is even more interesting. Where's the old explorer out there? Because they're still finding new species almost every day. They're still finding new islands. We haven't even explored the underseas yet. So we haven't explored much of Siberia. Humans that congregate in just areas that have no idea what's going on in more remote reaches. So he's going to get into that and so much more. But Sam, I wanted to talk to you first, just as a smart guy, as a fellow Texan here, I think you're still in Texas, with your view on Trump, on what's happening globally, the moment in history. You're a historian 100 years from now, looking back on 2018, all the things that's happening, all the tectonic changes, the cultural changes, the galactic changes, as they say, it's as above, so below. I don't describe the whole cult thing, but it's true, as above, so below. Where do you think we are in the compendium and the spectrum of human existence? I feel like I got low and see that we're at a jump point or a dying point. I think we're at a major crossroads. I think humanity and its survival instincts and its spirit is starting to reach for a better future, and the globalists are panicking. But so just in the 6 minutes we have left in this segment, how would you, talking to your grandchildren, describe this moment in history?
Well, if we were all still alive together, I would say that this was the moment that America, the modern Babylon, began its collapse into history. I think that there are so many things in play at the moment, geophysically and politically, that the United States is going to be destroyed unless we have some magical way to reverse it. I just think the whole world is against us at the moment.
And so Trump's like some last-ditch effort of people that aren't complete traitors to try to turn it around.
Yes. Look, we pray for him every day here in this house twice a day, at least. And, I marvel that at his age that he's able to handle the fight like
he did take on a challenge worse than Hercules, cleaning out the Aegean tables.
Yeah, he did. It's worse than a swamp. On our show images page on standeo.com, I'll refer to some of these images today. If you go to standeo.com and click on the link, you see the link, which is under the YouTube sign, you'll see where it shows show images next to the microphone. And all right, you're already there. Good. You're already there. Okay, go to the image number. Yes, that one. I lost my image here.
47, 48, which one?
Yeah, it's at the very top on the left. The one that's talking about the 31% of American voters think a second civil war is likely. And Holly has put a comment under there because about 20 years ago, we visited with the Hopis in Shikopa Village, a second Mesa, and they told us some prophetic utterances they had for their people and for the United States. And at that time, they told us that there's going to be a massive civil war.
I remember you. How long ago was that? Was that even Art Beller Coast to Coast? When did I hear you talk about it? Was it 15, 20 years ago? When was that?
Oh, at least 2001, I think it was.
I remember you. Oh my gosh. I remember you talking about that, thinking that was wild. So go back to that. So the Hopis told you that.
Yeah, they did. And
they're well known to be very psychic.
Well, yeah, they seem to have the knowledge of the people. I call the North American Indians the people, and they're the prophecy keepers for them. Very peaceful people. I love them to death. I could look in their eyes and see just honesty. It's something we don't see so much here in the modern world out here. But anyway, they looked me in the eye, and this particular one, up on the edge of the cliff there in the second mesa, he said to me, "Look, out here you see desert between our mesas." Yeah, he said, "Soon there will be water flowing between here, and we will go by canoe between the mesas, and then we will go by land. After America has fallen in the Civil War, we will take groups of the survivors with us that will come down to us, and we will march up into the four corners area near Colorado, or in Colorado, and form a new nation of man." And that was kind of the basis of the whole prophecy, saying that we would also be invaded. We first have a civil war, we would weaken ourselves, and then we would be invaded by Russia, China, and a Middle Eastern nation, and he didn't know the name of that nation.
Well, from studying things, the globalists invest in China. They plan to use that economically, militarily to do it. But just on Monday, or I guess it's Friday, Monday now, it came out, Chinese government documents, that they're encircling us, they're economically cutting us off, working with big banks, and working for a civil war to collapse the country. And so that's pretty nightmarish because they had 1,400 million people, they own our debt, and they've got traders working for them. I don't think the Democrats will never understand. They are literally working for big banks and communist China. Talk about traders.
It's an interesting point. The Sun Tzu Articles of War does say that China, well, let's use China as the address at this point, is wise in letting its enemies beat themselves to death and then march in and pick up the pieces. So in respect to where we are now, China is fueling the fire between Russia, or North Korea as well, but Saudi Arabia and some of the Arabian nations. They're fueling that so that we'll beat ourselves to death in the Middle East. And when we've weakened our resources and our armies there, then is when China will come in and sweep in and try to take all the oil fields and control the energy of the planet from the Middle East. And that fits with the Revelation prophecy about the 200 million army of the kings of the East coming into the Battle of Armageddon there in the Megiddo Plain of northern Israel. We're there. We're approaching like gangbusters.
Because there were 200 million people at the time of that prophecy 2,000 years ago, but now there aren't. That's exactly what the military is. And they're actually in these documents training, as you said, to cut off all the resources. As you know, all the big Chinese companies from Africa, Latin America, the Middle East are, and those that are Bush and the whole Iraq invasion gave it to China. You didn't know that well. So Trump's talked about their so-called workers are all military, and they're run by intelligence operatives. They even came out, even the Washington Post admits most of our public universities, the communist Chinese have already gotten control of them. They've got the Office of Personnel Management hack. I mean, we're basically already defeated by China, and Trump is desperately trying to get back control, and all these traitorous Americans are absolutely against it.
I know, it's sad. It really is sad. It's just frustrating to watch this happen. The slow motion collapse of the new Roman Empire. That's us.
And then Trump's desperately trying to stop it, and the fools that will be destroyed by this are trying to stop him from saving them. We'll be back. The world is being given a chance at a reprieve. That's why history works. That's what God's always done. Well, we take it 10 days. Someone get into his archaeological mission. The amazing things he's done in the next segment. Briefly, we'll get into 4 more of the boys. That's 12 now. So there's 2 more on their coast. They have to get out. 1 diver died. 2 divers going in to this huge cave system that's flooded. It's just incredibly heroic stuff. So that's a question that we'll get to next segment. The globalists will say abort babies, don't care about old people, euthanize. But when we see humans trapped in a bad position, we empathize. We want to save them. So that's the instinct of survival. What about all of us on this planet with the rising water of globalism, and communism, and tyranny? Just a couple boys now and they get into the volcanoes and the trip. Since I mentioned it, I always said it's coming up. I never did that. Shannon, what does this bring up in you watching this heroic stuff happen, those divers going to those caves that are flooded full of mud and debris, it's amazing.
It is amazing, and it reinforces my belief that there are people in our world that still have compassion, to help their fellow man. In this case, too, people have already laid down their lives to save these boys. And, you read the report that statistic, two of the rescuers die, and okay, then you read the rest of it, and kind of forget about it. But those rescuers had people, families, lives, and they've laid it all on the line for these young soccer players. And I just think it's marvelous to see that in a world that's so full of hatred and conflict. And these guys aren't just all tied. The rescuers came in from a lot of places to help. So that's
the courage it takes to go into a black water flooded hole, and then to have the courage to bring a child out who isn't even scuba certified. I mean, this is incredible.
The whole world is watching this. It really is. I marvel at this whole operation, and I'm so glad, so thankful that the children at least are being saved like this.
I tell you, it just comes to that point, because I read about ships that jump over and stuff, and that people have to swim 50 yards out through the bulkheads that can't see what's happening. And they'll kind of wait till the end as the water's rising. In some cases, people with their children, they're trying to explain to their 7-8 year old, listen, we're going to swim like 2 or 3 Olympic swimming pools, you're going to die. And you hear about people actually doing it and willing it and making it out. Sometimes not. This just shows you how amazing humans are and what we can do.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how it would feel to be on such a cramped space so far in the ground, with the water just rising up and the monsoon season starting, and, the change in the weight of the water and the structures around it might cause cave-ins. I mean, there's just all kinds of problems that could happen. And in spite of all that, these guys have gone down there and made it work.
And some of these spaces are 3 feet wide with the gear and all of that. Talk about claustrophobia.
And, trying to get through with your oxygen tank on your back and a child with you. I mean, it's a tight squeeze. You don't want to rip any hoses loose and, hurt the child or yourself. Yeah, it's a challenge. And my hat's off to those guys. I don't know that I'd be able to do that.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And you look at the lazy trendies and how hateful they are, cowardly. They never do that for anybody.
No. This generation today, the millennial generation and kind of their offspring, are a real disappointment to the founding fathers of this country and people my generation and yours. I'm just so sad to see that they've been steered in such a terrible direction.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and get into the tectonic stuff that's happening on the planet. You accurately predicted decades ago with your own system, looking at these seismic charts they had about what was really going on, the different theories. Just like astrophysicists can accurately predict what's happening in the weather much better than regular weathermen or women. Meteorologists, because they don't look at the planet. Well, obviously the sun, the moon, the solar winds has a bigger effect. So you looked at other things with your own theorems that ended up being very, very accurate. So where's the Earth now in its tectonic behavior?
There's something weird going on at the moment. In the last month and a half, 2 months, I guess, the earthquake numbers in the Richter 5 and above have dropped 21%. So when earthquakes in that range don't happen, it's a sign that pressure is building up somewhere. It's not a sign that earthquakes decided to take a vacation. It is the pressure is building up and not releasing at these smaller earthquakes. Now, if you can look at my show images page there at image 43, it's a graph, and click it up, you'll see the drop in the Richter 5 earthquakes. Now, in this map, I have not included 37 earthquakes Richter 5 or better that occurred under Kilauea. Kilauea's had over, 4,800 earthquakes from Richter 1 up in the last the last 8 weeks. So, yeah, there you go. That's the graph. So I think that what we're seeing planet-wide is a change in the pressures on the surface. We may be building up for some really big earthquakes, and I sense from what the government, USGS, has been telling people in California and the West Coast, that we may be seeing the big one or several big ones occur along the West Coast of the United States. My guess at this moment is that we'll see the first release at the southern end of the San Andreas Fault near the Salton Sea. There you go. That's a good image from our site there. And, when officialdom starts to kind of agree with what I'm saying on this kind of stuff, I begin to think we are close because they try not to panic people unnecessarily, but at the same time, doing their job, they want to give you some warning. And
isn't that plate that comes into California way overdue for the big one?
It's the plate is north of there, or Northern California, Oregon, and Washington coast. That's the Fonda Fuca plate, and it is like 55 years now overdue for a massive 9-point plus earthquake, creating tidal waves and a lot of damage on the shore. So yes, it is overdue, and we need to be conscious of that. I got to tell you, California's kind of their road open, losing their political votes at the moment. If the earthquakes happen and break it up in the islands, like you say, they'll be so busy surviving that they won't be able to influence the elections so much as they have been.
It is funny though, it's the big anti-American state now, and it's the one you mainline geologists say might disappear, moving more east. What about the mega caldera there at Yellowstone? Because I remember you 20 years ago saying it was starting to come back alive, and now even mainline science says it's doing some weird stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of good to be right, I guess, but not really because it's actually happening. They have found, since I started talking about it, an magma chamber underneath it, but none of it was there. So there's the Yellowstone caldera and the one down in the North Island of New Zealand, the Lake Taupo caldera. Those two are of great concern and will probably convert fairly soon.
Let's talk about that. I think of your amazing trip. I hope a film's getting made. Looking for the original Garden of Eden, Sandeo. Straight ahead, Sandeo.com. I'm Alex Jones with NewsWars.com. Tomorrow's news today. We're on a planet flying through space, heated by sun, floating on islands of rock on top seas of molten magma. Sandeo's our guest. I really appreciate him joining us. We have a special guest joining us. We'll tell you about in the next segment, but I'm going to stand back very, very soon to get more into his discoveries and what he's done. But the 10 minutes we have now, bearbear.com, Sandeo.com, finishing up with the super caldera that knows they erupted before. They've got ash maps. It's the USGS. It's not debatable. It covers most of the U.S. And then they say that it's basically due, maybe now, maybe 100 years. I mean, you don't know time-wise, but just the different changes there. Let's get into your big expedition that we're having back on for a full hour about soon, looking for the Garden of Eden.
Well, there's been a couple things going on. Oh, by the way, I noticed you've got a beard since the last time we were talking, and being partial to beards myself, I like yours. It's great.
Yours looks good too, my friend. Thank you.
Like it. Anyway, in May of this year, last 2 weeks of it, my partner and I and one of my businesses, the Black Sea Jewelers, we flew over to Tanzania to prove that the Ngoro Plateau there in Tanzania was the original Garden of Eden site. I'd already proved most of the river locations and stuff was in the Genesis account in Hebrew, but I wanted to prove that the water source that supplied all the water for the whole plateau did come from a 10,000-foot high, like a spring, a group of springs, and we couldn't tell from the Google Earth maps and stuff that we had for sure, so we had to trek over there and go up as far as we could by a vehicle and then trek into the area where the Maasai water their cattle even at this this pond, if you wish. And it was there. It was full of water, and it was one two that we found at the top, which proved that the whole Ngoro Plateau, particularly the Ngoro Crater, was the Garden of Eden. And of biblical account and many other ancient accounts, we were just able to do this by putting the world back together on a computer, where all the continents touched each other in the Pangea type arrangement, and then we were able to trace all these rivers spoken of by Moses in the Genesis account. And that led also to other things as far as archaeological finds. Was able to find Atlantis after that. We located the Eden complex within the Atlantis situation. You can see that on my YouTube channel, the Atlantis discussion. And we can talk next time too. I've got another business that we started to make EMP shields for houses and all the stuff in your house. And my partner Tim Cardy and I have been setting up. Well, I think we've got about 35 products now based on shielding generators, solar collectors, diesel generators, gas generators, and your home from the pulse of electronic magnetic pulse from a bomb.
Oh, I understand. You're not about an EMF. You're just like regular.
No.
You need a capacitor type system to actually block it in the chain.
It takes the sunrise and voltage from an EMP attack or a pulse where it comes from the sun or from an enemy. It takes that, which generates huge high voltages, and just fry all your electronics.
No, I understand. I want to talk to you. So let's get on the phone with us. That's very exciting to talk about that. Now, expanding on this, you're looking at a model that Pangea didn't have for billions of years, but that the continents were together and we actually accelerate Earth. And I used to hear that 25 years ago. They mainline science is right. They keep admitting it's not right, and they keep admitting that. Where's an example? I interviewed the other member of the Shoemaker Levy who discovered the comet first and all that stuff. They talked about how now they know there's thousands of giant meteor strikes all over the Earth. Previously, they thought they were happening every few million years. Now they know it's happening a lot quicker than that, maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. While the ancient cultures write about that. And that the tectonic activity isn't gradual, like they say, it's explosive. And then if you do put all those things back together, and look at the Sumerian text, Egyptian text, the Jewish text, as you said, it actually is the world together and a different thing accelerated, which has been proven with now that we have satellites and telescopes. We know there are big meteors and that would really devastate the planet and devastate human life. They're hitting gas giants like Saturn, Jupiter all the time. We know we get hit a lot more often. So at least that model is compressed now, where it's not happening every once in a while, just like we saw in 1918, over Russia, that giant thing that blew up, destroyed tens of thousands of square miles and stuff. Thank God it was unpopulated. So looking at that model just in a few minutes, you'll come back for a full hour. Describe the model you're saying of a younger Earth system that more and more science is showing.
Okay, even the Big Bang theory lends credence to the young Earth, the young universe theory or hypothesis at this point, because in the beginning, when the Big Bang occurred, all the mass of the entire universe that we can detect was crammed down in this very, very tiny little ball. And as it expanded within milliseconds, the light speed and all the electromagnetic waves that came out of it traveled much faster than they do now because space was more dense. And if you calculate it, which Barry Satterfield has done on his website here and some papers he's written, if you calculate, you'll see that the speed of light at the Big Bang was 10 with 60 zeros behind it faster than now. And that's how we carbon date stuff, how we radiometrically date stuff with whatever gases or compounds we use. When you plug this in, this variable speed of light in, it reduces the age of the universe down to like measured in tens of thousands of years.
And it's just how Revelation says God will then crush it all into a scroll. So here's the universe crushed again, stop a new thing, and then it slows down, slow like an explosion. And then doesn't have energy coming together, but the creator goes, and now you see all these top scientists and the owners of big banks. The occultists now go, look, we've done the dark matter. Something's holding together. It's all a simulation. It's all artificial to make us think, oh, that's all a simulation. Give it to their new simulation. So they're all capitulating right now and admitting that what we've been told isn't true.
Yeah. Look, once you make this change to the timeline, then you can see how the small Earth or the expanding Earth theory works as well, because the Earth was roughly 25% smaller in diameter before the Great Flood. And I found what caused the Great Flood was like at least one, maybe two huge asteroid impacts on the east coast of India and nearby.
And then that's why they all describe in every culture that was there that all the water came out of the Earth because there's such giant aquifers, and the Earth's been smashed, and all the magma's pushing it out. You're going to have floods, water's going to come out of the ground.
You're going to have rain. Well, they didn't have rain to start with. It used to be dew coming up at night to water everything on the planet. When the asteroid hit and vaporized so much of the sea, it went up into the upper atmosphere, made clouds for the first time, and condensed.
Created terraforming.
Yeah, and it was rain. That was the rain of the 40 days that spoke of in Noah's account. And the oil comes over there in the area.
But they did now in models of, say, a 20-mile asteroid hitting the middle of the Pacific. They say it would make there be floods for years, dark winter, you name it.
It would be tsunami-type floods, too, because the impact would cause the swishing of all the oceans around the planet. It would just go and sweep animals and trees and everything into swirling death traps, and that's what we find.
Well, if you look at that, though, and you look at the erosion maps, I think clearly we don't know. The official story we've been told is not accurate. How do they even know anyways? Clearly something else happened.
They have to have an open mind. They should be really scientists and look at other hypotheses that come up to say, we can explain part of the things you can. Let's talk together. Let's get to the truth. That's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely, Standeo. Thank you so much, Standeo.com. We'll talk to you soon. Fascinating. I want to get into this trip to Africa. All right, we'll be back with a very special guest that got demonized by a certain little nasty, lying CNN reporter. Now, I know most of them are liars, so that kind of lightens the field. You'll see. Yvette Munoz is our guest. She goes by your mama's chest hair. Yo, mama's chest hair. This happened a few months ago. It's popped back up on the news. I thought, hey, we ought to get her on. A costume-seeing mock Hispanic woman for Trump, Pepe, doll, and Infowar shirt. I picked up a lot of news then, but I thought, why not get her back on because she did some research later on the web, and they demonized Pepe the Frog. The creator told people use it. I don't care who you are, use it. But now he sues you if you even basically talk about it, I guess, or even hold the frogs. I guess he might sue you. That's how the left operates now. They just think they own total reality. There she is wearing our anti-fascist shirt. They really are fascists. And I thought people would get yo mama's chest hair. As I say, mama's got the chest hair. Where they got a very interesting background for what you're doing. I'm attracted to the Infowar and what's happened since this and some of the breaking news. But yo mama's chest hair. That's what she wants to go by. Tell us about that nickname first.
Well, it originated from a movie, Mean Girls, when the goth girl, and I keep forgetting her name, but the goth girl, she was wearing a sweater. This guy asked her, hey, nice sweater, where'd you get it? What's it made of? And her response was, it's made out of your mama's chest hair. And so that's where your mama's chest hair was born.
Well, that's amazing. Tell us about this. Is back in the news because you've been converting some of your friends for being anti-Trump, being pro-Trump, including some folks that I'm told are basically eligible for DACA. So tell us about that.
Yeah, that's actually my cousin. Him and I are very close, and what happened is once he found out that I voted for Trump, he was very devastated, and he just, he kept repeating to me that I betrayed him. At first, he was, like I said, we're all being indoctrinated by Univision, and he thought it was just the end of the world for him, so unable to debate at the time because I actually got red-pilled after the elections, and I found out about Infowars after the elections as well. And once I was able to tell him what was going on, I got him to stay with me because he was getting a little bit upset, and like I said, he was even threatening me at some point. And I finally got to sit with him, and he was willing to listen. Unlike some of my other cousins who just cut communication with me, he sat there, and I was debunking every fake news I could. Everything he was concerned about, I was helping him out. And then from there on, we resumed our relationship. And I even talk about it in the article that I kept going to his soccer games where people will demonize me for being a Trump supporter and Mexican. And he finally changed 100% his mind because after the State of the Union speech, Trump had mentioned that he was willing to give a path to citizenship to the DACA recipients if we only built the wall first, which is not a bad deal at all. And once I told him a little bit about that, and he actually went and see for himself that Trump actually did say that in the State of the Union, he was like, "What are we waiting for? I want to build a wall. I'll go. Let me get hired, and I'll build a wall."
Wow.
So I did have an incident in January when the government shutdown happened, and I was a little bit upset because they were doing all this for illegals when we have other issues of our own. And I kind of I was very angry at the time, and so my anger took over me, and I put a horrible post out there where I was saying that I was going to deport the DACA's parents if the DACA people wouldn't send an email or something to get the government running again. And it backfired. But my cousin, he stood up there and he was trying to defend me because he knows that I can say anything, because I'm all about freedom of speech.
Sure,
so,
absolutely. And people get mad, people say things tongue in cheek and make a point, but the left does it's all cute, and okay, when we do it, we're all demonized or something out of context. Here's the thing. The Democrats want a giant control group they can keep disenfranchised, and so do the Republicans. But Trump's changing that. And like you said, my listeners are like, wait, Trump's going back when he said that we would pass people that aren't criminals who are going to DACA and criminal who've really been here for a while, who are contributing and have committed serious crimes. That's what Trump said during the campaign. He said, listen, the so-called DACA program now just lets everybody in because we have a serious one that actually vets people. I'm all about making a path to citizenship for coming here easier. We need this. Trump's like, I hire all sorts of people. They come here, live from all over the world, working on hotels and golf courses. He just said, you just can't have totally open borders. And you got Latin America collapsing. Mexico's built a fence and a wall. And so, yeah, that's the common sense. And that's why I couldn't believe he got attacked by conservatives thinking he'd gone back on what he said when he hadn't. And then a lot of leftists just ignored the fact that as soon as he said, the Democrats said, no, we want no borders at all. Well, that's just completely insane.
I agree 100%. And that's the funny thing. See, I used to live in Mexico, and I remember the elections. My very, very first rally was going to Vicente Fox, and we actually thought that this guy was going to change the world, but he was just a typical politician like the rest of them. And the way they do the campaigns in Mexico is they always have to give something to the people so they can vote for them. So people are in the middle, and then you got the two politicians, right? Two different politicians, and then the people are like, what are they giving out there? Oh, they're giving buttons. Okay, what are they giving out there? They're giving hats. Okay, let's go with the guy that gives out the hat. They don't even look at the policies. And same thing here. The Democrats are giving so many aid to illegals, and I've witnessed this. And that's why they're brainwashed by the Democrats, because the Republicans, it's all about you earn everything that you have. And the Democrats are like, let's feed the ducks, so they don't know how to feed themselves.
Exactly. And then meanwhile, it's like folks say, don't give people fish, teach them how to fish. It's the same thing. Trump knows we've been artificially shut down. We've artificially managed to make the economy shut down. He just says, I'm going to get out of your way. I'm not giving you your freedom. I'm just going to get out of your way and work to make it more fair for jobs here. And we see it already in a year and a half turning around. That's why the Democrats are panicking. They're going crazy. And I'm just really concerned, though, because like you said, most people know what's going on. And a lot of Hispanic Americans get it. A lot of the people that are immigrants here that came here legally, they get it. But a certain percentage, mainly it's white liberals attacking others, there's a certain percentage of Hispanic folks that are buying into this lie that really think Trump and white people are out to get them. And that's why I appreciate your courage, because I've talked to other Hispanic listeners and Mexican listeners who have had their fathers and mothers ostracized and have had whole families turning against them because they said, no, Trump didn't say all Mexicans are criminal. He said, wide open border, the border's got a lot of crime on it. Criminal Americans go to Mexico. We know that doesn't mean all Americans are criminals. And so they'll defend and say, no, Trump didn't say that. Show me the clip. And then their own family says, I'll kill you, basically. I've had listeners tell me this. I've gotten letters. And so it sounds like you've gone through that. You're saying, you go to soccer games wearing Make America Great Again? You said you like go to soccer games and get in your face. What happens?
No, I did not take any of my MAGA gear. I just go like a regular civilian. I go and support my cousin whenever he's playing games. I try to leave politics out of everything, but if somebody comes to me and tries to talk to me about politics, then I'll respond to them. Most of the time, they hate it because they hate the truth. But guess what? Liars hate the truth. And that's
the reality. Girl with you there in the American flag outfit.
That's my sister. We're very close. She's the one that red pilled me, and thanks to her, we found out about you. She started red pilling about the spirit cooking, and with the algorithms, it led us to Infowars because we never knew what Infowars was. And then we saw you there just yelling the news, and we're like, wow, this guy, he's a little too passionate. But then you kept giving out sources, and that's what really matters. We checked out the sources, all the articles that you were talking about, and that's the funny part is that in the mainstream media on TV, they just give you tiny information where they can still get it out of context. But the only way to get the real news is by reading, and that's why I follow you so much, because I do believe that you have the right sources.
Well, you and your sister are awesome. Maybe we should use auxiliary reporters to go out and do some work with them. We should try to hire you. I need to raise some money to do that. I didn't plug this out on Infowars.com. But we come back, we'll do 5 more minutes with you. I want to invite you for a full hour to call soon and invite your sister on as well. But I want to ask you about Jim Acosta calling you a white supremacist. I mean, it's pretty obvious that you're not even, you're very late. You're not white. He's saying calling you a white supremacist. Yo, Mama's chest hair is here with us. So I'm going to get her and her sister down here to the studio with us next few weeks. She's a firecracker. She didn't want to complain on her. They got death threats, you name it. We had pro-Trump going back over a year ago. So just recap what that was like. And I'll talk about your sister's husband that was actually first domino in the family. We're going to get him down here too and celebrate people that are trailblazers that go against the propaganda and then realize the truth, which is a beautiful thing. It's the leftist brainwashing of people. Such skin color. It's the brainwashing that is the problem. And that's why they think with the demographics they're going to do that. But if we actually take action, we can win. But just get back to Acosta calling you a white supremacist.
Yeah, it was pretty funny because we were coming out of the Trump rally at the time when that picture was taken, and we were actually sitting right by Trump. So we were so excited that we were in this world that we've been watching through the internet, and to be part of it was super thrilling. So when I saw Jim Acosta with the rest of the reporters in the back, I didn't have any anger. I didn't hate him. I was just thinking, oh my God, this guy from TV. So I'm like, Jim, hey Jim, and he finally said hello. And so I put on my phone and I took a picture, and he was even doing the thumb up. So then he got up and then he's like, "Can I take a picture of you?" And then my sister, she had the clip at the time, she just threw it at me, and I'm like, okay, I'll hold it. And I did my thought clips. And then I knew he was going to put it up on Twitter right away. It just gave me that impression. And at the time, like I told you, because all this went down about the Dreamers and that they were trending, I had to take down all my social media. But I went back on Twitter. I opened my own Twitter account just like a response to Jim Acosta. And it kind of backfired because, well, I'm a Mexican descendant. Oh, look, there's a picture.
Well, the claim that Pepe is white supremacy is a few white supremacists that everybody was using it. It's just like you take any symbol. Put Santa Claus next to a white supremacist. Now we got Santa Claus.
Right. It's just a meme. So a meme, you just put a little bit of truth in there and it's supposed to be funny. But that's how it all started because Hillary was declaring war on this Pepe, saying that it's some dark lord and we worship this thing like cultists.
I forgot that.
Like,
yeah, I can see that you worship it. I forgot that.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, God, no way. Did she really say that? So we started, I guess you can say, trolling. And we're like, yeah, Pepe, we adore this God. But now it means a lot more. To me, Pepe is very similar to the story of Moses. Remember when Moses was trying to free the people from Egypt and there were the plagues being sent. And one of the plagues was the frogs. So now it feels like this is worldwide. Everybody is identifying with CAC or Pepe, as you want to call it. And now it feels like we are helping Trump, who's chosen by God. We're going to help him free the rest of the people. We are that plague, and we're coming hard.
Ooh, it's like the frogs into Egypt. Wow. I never heard that. Did you come up with that?
That's how I see it. I haven't heard it, but that's how I see it because I'm not sure. Even
no, that's what I'm saying. You created that allegory. That's powerful. Pepe or the frogs invading Egypt. I love that.
Yeah, it's super fun.
All right, well, you're awesome. I look forward to meeting you and your sister and her husband here in studio. So as soon as you want to come down here,
I'm ready.
Okay, you're awesome. Yeah, next Thursday and Friday, I'm going to go to family. I won't be here at the end of the time. You guys flown down here to Texas. We look forward to hanging out with you guys and breaking bread with you. You're awesome. We love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for standing up. Also, you told me death threats, everything. You're still here.
Who cares, man? I'm here to die for this country and for the truth mailing. And I know we've got us on our side.
Come back to you. The article is up on Infowars.com. Here's why Hillary Clinton is running in 2020. That's the article, but buried in it. I'm going to put an article out. Buried in the article is the poll. Will Hillary Clinton run for president in 2020? Yes, she'll run. No, she won't run. She'll be dead by then. So Drudge has his poll up there. And I'm going to stay on there now. So we have our own article out. No big deal. It's our own article with the poll so I can tell listeners to go to Infowars.com and take the poll. And I'm going to get Paul to retweet it as well. But I have an intention to get that poll big and actually reach our audience at Infowars.com. It's an article. Joel Gilbert, when he first Friday predicted that Hillary will be running for president in 2020. And the evidence of it, we talked to insiders that say she isn't. Didn't do it. But also going to create our own article where it's there. And then we put the Joel Gilbert story under it. So that's all coming up. Yo Mama's Chest Hair is her handle. She lives up in Chicago. And she's a Hispanic Trump supporter. And so you're telling me off air as I asked about all the harassment. You guys can follow you on Twitter at yo_mamas_chest_hair. We'll follow you there. And you got your sister and her husband got involved in all this. Just recap for people. When you woke up, the saga, what it's been like. You said your dad is asleep with a gun, all the death threats. I mean, lay out what it's like for a Hispanic person in America who tries to support America first, prosperity, having basic immigration rules like any other country has. What you have to go through. We think is basic Trump supporters, we get harassed. But from what I've read and seen, black Trump supporters, Hispanic Trump supporters, I mean, they get attacked, they get called white supremacists, they get fired from their jobs, they get thrown out of stores. So lay it all out for us.
Yeah, it's very scary at first, but I mean, I know that they're all talking, they're just angry. And that's one thing about the Mexicans is that they're mainly a little bit too selfish because all they care about is immigration. They don't care about these other bigger problems that are going on in the country, that if we succeed in these problems, then we can help the whole world. But no, they just want to focus on themselves and they don't even know exactly what they want. They just know that they're angry. So that's why it was pretty scary. I had to take down all my social media because you cannot say anything about Trump. And it's so funny to me because, I mean, he is a president. Since when can we not support the president? And like I said, I was born here. My duty is to protect this country first. My people are the American people. I don't care what color you are. It's the idea that this beautiful country and culture of this country is that it allows you to have your own culture. So why are we trying to switch and change all of this? We're running away from Mexico because of all the crime and all the corruption, and we want to bring this here. I just don't get it. This is the greatest nation in the world, and that's one thing that Mexicans should understand. But they've been brainwashed since Mexico. Their politicians brainwashed them, and now they're brainwashed here by pretty words that come from the Democrats, and and some random Republicans as well. So I hope one day they can realize that this fight, it's also including them, but they need to wait a little bit before we can fix the whole nation, and then we can see the immigration process.
Well, you're amazing. We really appreciate you and your courage. And one thing Trump got in, and the economy didn't turn around, optimism didn't turn around, and all these corrupt globals weren't getting in trouble. But when we know how the globalists have been working to hurt the country and working around the clock to do all this, it just really makes me upset with people that buy into the hype. But trailblazers like yourself, the real leaders of the future, you know what Mark Twain said? He said, a patriot is a scarce man or woman in the beginning, hated, scorned, and feared. But in time when the patriot succeeds, the timid join him because then it costs nothing to be a patriot. So we really appreciate you. Yo_mamas_chest hair. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
Oh my gosh. Whoa. The creator of Pepe says, it doesn't matter fair use, it doesn't matter he said trademark free, it doesn't matter if you just tried to get a trademark. He says, you're not allowed to show that frog. So you want to bow down to Ferry right now?
Well, this is Keck, and he's been altered. He doesn't look like Pepe. It is a frog, but I mean,
obviously he can't hang around with Kermit the Frog either. He'll next say he's a lily pass by. Hey, is Pepe gay?
Yeah, no, he's not gay. He's atomically correct. I'm not going to show his private parts unless you want to.
So Keck's packing.
I'm still protecting him from those evil chemicals.
You're a real sweetheart. Very charming. All right, you're awesome. That's a family show. I'm going to make really bad joke right now, but hey, you're awesome. Thanks so much.
All right, you too. Take care, Alex. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed every second of it. Like I said, I'm one of your biggest fans.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to meet your family. All right, folks. Lionel is taking over. Former prosecutor, syndicate talk show host, author, whole 9 yards. He takes over right now, getting everything. Please don't forget, we got 50% off the 4 to 5 close store iodine for every toothpaste. We got 50% off Rainforest, all the rest of it. It's just mega sales. Infowarstore.com, 50% off and free shipping. You cannot beat these deals. Whether it's water filtration, air filtration, everything. It's celebrate the Second American Revolution and the left Civil War starting what's going on. And we got amazing new t-shirts, real life 45 baseball style. Me as a Wolverine, all those with the new big shirts. Check them out. Infowarstore.com. No reviews yet because they're still pre-order. We're getting ready right now. That's just shipping out by the end of the week. So get your orders in today. Infowarstore.com, Inforwarstore.com, 888-253-3139. Lionel, my friend, tell us what you've got lined up in your raft of repertoire today.
Yes, in my quiver, as it were. First, we're going to be talking about some rudiments involving the Supreme Court, what you need to know, and about this crazy idea that somehow Roe against Wade is going to be overturned. That will never happen. Also, picking up where you brought up about Hillary Clinton, and why the ostensible flying coach? What is that all about? How is that even
happening? It's a super cheap trick, super ridiculous. Well, we're billionaires that use taxpayer money flying around private jets and our foundation. Oh, but now we fly around with all the polls.
I want to ask you this question. Now, sometime in December, there was talk about the president issuing an executive order which basically froze a series of assets of individual corporations and the like that were supposedly or alleged to be involved in various trafficking activities and the like. Could it be under the wildest of imagination that somehow the Clintons are having to cut corners? Because for Hillary to appear in public when she's not at all public, Bill loves it, he thrives on that, it's his oxygen. But she's averse.
She's a reclusive, demonic control freak.
Now, don't hold back. Don't sugarcoat it, please. What do you think? Don't ride the fence, Alex. Just let me know what you think. And by the way, she never even told us what was she wearing with that backpack. I think it was reptilian exoskeleton. We never found out about that. So anyway, coming up, we're going to talk about to make you smarter about the Supreme Court, so you'll be able to talk to and wow your friends. Also about Hillary. And another thing too is you hear that Twitter is basically killing 70 million accounts. Do you have a First Amendment right, a freedom of the press right to social media that basically?
We'll talk about it all straight ahead. But as you know, they argued that, so that should be the case. Stay with us. And now Lionel takes over. I'll be back with a special poll for the next segment, though. This is the Infowar. Lionel of LionelMedia.com. We've got him lined up tonight during our Senate coverage. Roger Stone's lined up, as well as more of the SCOTUS pick. And I got to hand it to Lionel. Lionel's absolutely right whenever he said, look, it's not going to be a Napolitano. I don't care what Trump told him. He's too old. And he certainly turned out to be, he also said other things. But we're going to talk about all that coming up. Go ahead, my friend.
No, it's not because he's too old. It's anything which he
He's a state guy who doesn't know the federal weirdnesses.
Yes, I could not have said it better myself. Here's a couple of things here. First and foremost, I fancy, well, I get a kick out of folks who all of a sudden suggest that, well, I can just talk about the Supreme Court. I mean, it's about abortion, and the justices get together and they say, let's see, do we like Roe against Wade? Do we think it's a good idea? Let's vote. It doesn't work that way. Let me give you an idea of something that drives constitutional scholars, some of them, nuts. And this may seem a bit dry, but it's not. I want to do two things. I want to show you an actual theory and how it is considered anathema to these particular folks, but also explain why it's so critical. One of the worst cases ever held, if you will, is Roe against Wade. Now, just personally speaking, so that you know this, I absolutely believe, that a woman's right to have an abortion should be held, should be had, that the government should not be able to throw a woman in prison or jail or prohibit it. Now, by the same token, I personally am against abortion. I'm going to throw everything in my power at other services to encourage adoption. I'm not for abortion, but I'm equally not for a woman being hauled into, let's say, a police station and being told you're under arrest because you had an abortion. It's that simple. I also believe in 100% abolition of all drug laws. I mean everything involving the mere possession of a substance. Meaning, in my perfect world, if you were holding, let's say, crack cocaine or heroin or whatever it is, you would not be able to be thrown into prison just because of that. No, that doesn't mean I advocate drug use or the like. As a judge, let me go one step further. You're going to love this one. I'm against the death penalty. 100% against the death penalty. But as a judge, if I were a judge, federal, Supreme Court, whatever, and you brought to me the case involving a death penalty case from a state where it was held to be legal, and the court has held death penalty to be legal, if due process considerations are met, I would have absolutely no problem in saying, yep, this was a good case. The defendant's rights were upheld. Due process was maintained. Fine, go ahead and execute him. Even though I'm against it. I don't get the chance to say, well, I don't think the Texas legislature was on the money. I don't think the state of Florida was right when they imposed this. So I'm going to just overrule this and rule it unconstitutional because I don't like it. That doesn't happen. I'm against drug laws. But I could uphold a conviction of a trafficker, somebody charged with trafficking. I could uphold the propriety of a search warrant for something that I think is stupid because the issue I'm being presented is not whether I like it, not whether I think morally it's okay. Doesn't matter. I'm given a very limited frame of reference. Now, here's what people hated about Roe against Wade. This is what drove them crazy. This thing called substantive due process. Now, bear with me, but I want you to hear the argument. Because this is what's argued. This is the argument. Not what you hear on TV, not what you hear on Fox News, to an extent, or MSDNC or any of the others. Due process provides that you cannot be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Life, liberty, property, you can be deprived of that, so long as the deprivation is done with due process. Meaning, notice, the opportunity to be heard, a trial, a hearing, you got to be told what it is exactly that they're taking. So the government can take away your property, can take away your life, can take away your liberty. It's in the Constitution. The only thing it talks about is the procedure, also called in some circles procedural due process. So let me repeat. The Constitution says, I can take your life, I can take your liberty, I can take your property. Ever hear of eminent domain? Ever hear of capital punishment? Of course you have. Ever hear of somebody seizing your property? Yes, so long as due process, the procedure is met. What other people have said was, we think there should be other laws that just should be maintained, some other rights that should be maintained because of just what they are. And one of them is this idea of privacy. They just created this thing. So the government said, the Constitution said, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You can't just make something up. The government says, the Constitution, I should say, says that the only thing we're interested in is how you address, how you handle the fact that life, liberty, and property have been deprived from you. We're not talking about whether life or liberty or property is even in and of itself that special. We're talking about how it's removed from you. That's what Roe did. Roe created this, with this crazy whatever. Now, that being said, let's cut to the chase. What I just told you right now has been law review article after law review article. The Federalist Society talking about it. They've been talking about substantive due process forever, and it will bore you to tears. That's the kind of stuff these folks talk about. Administrative law. Oh my God. You want to sorry decisis. Res judicata versus such and such. It's not about this popular stuff that we talk about. But listen to me. Roe is never going to be reversed. Is never not going to be the law of the land for two reasons. Number one, Justice Roberts said it, that there are people who grew up knowing nothing but it. It is so much a part of
What's going to happen is it's going to get curtailed back to almost nothing but states.
Well, we'll see about that. But more importantly, as I just heard a voice from heaven, it sounds exactly like ours. But the thing that's most important is that if you think that they're going to remove this particular aspect, this particular vehicle of eugenics, of 50, 60, whatever million babies removed.
Well, I was about to say, it's the real racists that want this. I just want anybody to have a shot and a chance. And expanding on that, all I know is that I agree with you. They're not getting rid of it. And it's a total political football to say it. But these people need to stop using it as a form of birth control. I mean, if a woman has...
Absolutely. The Supreme Court, unfortunately, does not get to answer that.
I want you to disagree to stop partial birth right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not do this as I co-host with the great Lionel, former prosecutor, political expert, executive talk show host, best-selling author. I do not say this tongue-in-cheek just to garner headlines. That's very easy to do. It was Matt Drudge first started saying in like 2013 when she'd been missing for a year, is Hillary's brain in a jar? And they said, oh, Matt Drudge conspiracy theorist. Well, no, they started paying attention. Because I got saddled with the thing that she was sick and saddled with the truth. I mean, I got credit, Drudge didn't get it. I became the guy that said she was sick. No, the Secret Service told us. They said there's a black emergency vehicle, ambulance. He's falling down. A week after we got told, Millie Weaver started falling around, had an emergency tent. She was in there an hour, stretchers running in. And then a week and a half later on 9/11, she falls like a ton of bricks, which is apropos because she was involved protecting Al-Qaeda and those networks right through into George W. They were both equally guilty anyway you slice it. And so when I asked this question, I saw the Drudge Report poll. And it was, is she running 2020? Or should she run for 2020? Or should she just retire? I thought, well, ask the question, do you think she's going to run? Not should she run, do you think she's going to run? And then I thought, wait a minute. Because I was really thinking, yeah, she's going to run if she still isn't, dead from the brain tumor she had cut out in 2013. There's no doubt. I was raising the question at the start of the show. I said on air, I said, will she run? Well, that's guaranteed if she's able. If she wants to control the party, the party's bankrupt. It's like last time she's got billions in her war chest. Over $1 billion at least. She wants all the new contributions. She stole it from Bernie Sanders. Of course she will. So I thought it's not a question of will she run or won't she? She's running. And our own Joe Goldberg broke that last Friday. I talked sources trip. But then the big question is, isn't will she won't? Only if she's dead or completely incapacitated from illness, which I'm obviously not hoping for that. I want her to get better so we can put her in prison. So the media is so controlled, though, they would show from the time she stumbled, but not when she fell down. That's what show it. And say, Alex Jones is lying. She only stumbled on the curb. That actually, like a side of beef, the Secret Service said, fell on her face. It's like Beacon at Burns here. Beacon at Hillary's. So boom, completely down, in the vehicle, clearly having a seizure. Julius Caesar had those. We understand. The fact is, though, she is an evil person. Probably don't like her. So the poll is up on Infowars.com. It's not a troll. It's an honest headline. Will Hillary Clinton be dead by 2020? Info poll asks, is Hillary running in 2020 or will she be dead by then? Hell, the planet be here by then, all the crazy is going on. And so we don't wish her any harm. Clearly, she's got medical issues. So we just put this poll up and retweeted. Will Hillary Clinton run 2020? Don't know how it shows. Will she run? Will she retire? Or will she be dead by now? I'm going to cast my vote. I believe she's tough and evil. I believe she will run. I believe she'll make it. I think she's got another 4 or 5 years in her. Maybe I'm wrong. I believe she's going to run. And I believe that she's going to make it. I was about to vote for her dying. I don't know. I believe Hillary's going to live. So click on it. Let's Alex Jones' vote. Live on there, please. There you go. Boom. Let's vote. And it doesn't have millions of votes like Drudge. Nothing's as big as Drudge. But when Infowars.com with the 6,000 votes there, we'll be 100,000 votes, 100,000 all time. I want to get, we do polls every day. I want to get your take on this. But let's vote for Lionel right now. Lionel.com. He'll be hosting with us tonight during live coverage. It goes 3 o'clock right through past 9 o'clock tonight. The Supreme Court announcement. Follow him on Twitter, obviously there, right there on screen. Really popular on YouTube. His videos, 100,000 views. Censorship, that's really phenomenal. Hundreds of millions of views. Lionel, didn't mean to hijack the hour. You might be too. So it's all your fault now to let me in. Wading into this swamp. What is your vote? Going to run, going to retire, going to be dead?
Going to run, absolutely going to run. And it goes to show you the complete, absolute meltdown of the Democratic Party. I mean, I cannot believe this, how they would even do this. Alex, here in New York, we have this Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, this young lady who is a kind of a latter-day version of Bernie Sanders. She is a Democratic socialist. She, again, invigorated the youth vote.
Bernie Sanders just better looking.
Well, she also, Bernie Sanders, I hope, with a pair who wasn't made a gelding, didn't receive an inadvertent orchiectomy because this man let all these people down. But here's what's going on right now. The Democratic Party is shifting because of her attitude being called by Perez and others. The voice
it's racing towards extreme leftism.
Yes. And what happens is now, one of two things. Maybe, because with Hillary, you got to think, wait a minute. Don't ever think anything's just inadvertent. Could this be this crazy, careening, out of control, left-wing faction of the Democratic Party, through which people will say, Hillary, we need you to pivot and
exactly like she did, but exactly like they're letting it go that direction, so she's the savior.
So she'd be the stalky horse, or she'd be the sheepdog, whatever it is, she'd be the rodeo clown, whatever you want to call this. But what I don't understand is how anyone, how President Trump or anybody for that matter, can allow this woman to remain. By the way, Godwin has taken over you. The Godwin principle has taken over apparently the Alex Jones show, as we, of course, are going more Hitlerian in your particular cartoon annotations. That notwithstanding, what I'm wondering is how in the world has she escaped? Not only that, I want to see this. This is great. The mind of a killer. Okay. How has she escaped, Alex? Any kind of prosecution or anything? The Clinton Health Access Initiative, the Clinton Global Initiative, the Clinton Foundation, all of those countries, all of those people, all of those individuals. I don't think it's ever been audited. How does that work? Plus everything. We can go through a litany. You don't need to have me say this. But how does this even happen? Or she hasn't even got a parking ticket. Not even a misdemeanor. How can anybody in the right mind look at this and say you're doing a great job? By the way, you've got a real talent. Is that some kind of an MS-13 teardrop there? Is that what that is? Okay, very good. I was
what's that in Bill Clinton's lap?
I don't even know what I think.
It's a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people here.
That's right. Or, now let me ask you, did you see the particular book he was perusing on the flight? I don't know what that means.
Oh, they always have some message. What was it?
Well, this was apparently...
Little Orphan Annie, maybe Jerry Epstein's Lolita Express? Was it?
No.
12-year-olds, or what was it?
Well, not per se. It was very interesting. I have it here. And by the by, let me just also throw something out there, just because, it never ceases to amaze me. Hang on a second. Oh, this is Crimson Lake by Candace Fox. This is where the accused but not convicted of a brutal abduction. Ted is now a free man and a public enemy number one.
Oh my God! So he's got a prisoner video book or a fugitive thing. Like we're the people accused of stuff, but we haven't done it. Unbelievable! Everything with them. It's always a message.
It's also a reference, of course, to some abduction, or whatever. And do we also hear about this incredible turn of events in our neighboring New Jersey, Alex, of a woman who apparently was going to testify this coming week before a grand jury regarding some improprieties on the part of her, whose house blew up, and her husband as well. You can't miss this.
Let me answer that question selfishly when we come back. You're a former criminal prosecutor and really smart fish. A lot of people ask why I'm still alive. They thought Hillary won, she just persecuted me. She just persecuted me. 3 of her affiliate law firms are suing me. But a lot of smart money ask why I'm not dead. I think because there's a surveillance state, Trump's watching, that's too much for her. They do kill so many people, blow up so many houses. I mean, they're thugs. Why has she not killed me yet? I mean, that's a real question. And I think some people think she wants to slowly destroy me first. Like a spider kind of ties up its victim first. Let's them hang there a while before they do it. But long before that, Hillary will be bye-bye. Well, I want you to get some of the other areas you wanted to break down here before we end this hour and the war room starts. This condition coverage right through Trump's announcement, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern on the Supreme Court nominee. But just separately, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's first of all, LionelMedia.com, but that's okay. But,
Lionel.com, this thing, Lionel, I wonder what that is.
Maybe the train, I don't know, I'm just guessing.
LionelMedia.com, I know this all the time. And how people follow you on Twitter.
But, Alex, the thing that I wanted to talk about, which I think is even more fascinating, is this idea, and I know that we've talked about it, is that when you have an organization like Twitter or Facebook who decides to wipe out, let's say, 70 million accounts because they are fake, for whatever reason, whatever criteria they use, they say these are indeed fake, and that's what they fine. The question then becomes, Do we have any duty, or do they have any duty to provide news to us? If you say, wait a minute, you're basically destroying my account, and you're also keeping news from me. Do I have a First Amendment right or cause of action against you? And what Twitter
the answer is yes, because they and Facebook and Google have said we are public commons, we're a utility, leave us alone, let us grow, let us be ubiquitous. But then they jump back and say we're a private corporation. You can't. And they selectively interpret rules and let the leftists engage in all these discriminatory practices. But then anybody that's nationalist, conservative, anti-war, classical liberals, they're all banned.
But then also they're using bots that look for a particular type of Russian ideology or Russian.
No, it's beyond that. If you've got a Facebook page with a couple million likes and some account connected somehow to Russia comments, you're now a Russian agent. Even though the Democrats, as you know, did 8% of spending in Russia, they around campaign finance laws. England's a big place, Canada does it. Everyone runs over these foreign PR companies. Anybody can hire them. And then Democrats were spending 8% of the money in Russia. They spent it wasn't much. It was like a couple hundred million views or something. And then Trump had something like 8 million views or something. It was nothing. It was nothing. It was nothing. But here's an example. CNN goes and arrests a lady saying her local pro-Trump group is real because a Russian account that they say is a bot account commented on her. Go ahead, sorry, Randy.
Oh, no, you're not Randy. But what they'll do is, or if you happen to use a particular type of Russian phraseology, and through its bot mechanism and algorithm, they say that's enough. But the bottom line is simply...
No, that's right. The so-called Russians were buying search point terms. Like Twitter came to RT, which is Russian state run, and said, we want you to spend, $50 million or whatever it was in the election to push your credit to make money. They said, no, we'll do a test deal. This was for like $500,000. And then you like response. They didn't use Twitter targeting RT articles, and I think it's liberal, by the way, as the proof of Russian collusion in a media buy. That's how it works.
But Russia, but Twitter went to RT, asking, begging,
yes,
seeking, feeding, imports, uniting them to buy this, and then later on said, aha, but you're a Russian sleeper. And by the way, I just want to hear what the BBC, Rayuno, CCTV, Al Jazeera, others as well. You never hear about that. But here, the bottom line is simply this. Alex, let's assume that I happen to own the rights or the patents to a particular type of ink that is in 95% of all newspapers during an era where we use newspapers. And I'm a private company. But I happen to make this ink. I'm the only one
who decide not to sell you ink. That's the ultimate argument about the violent First Amendment Twitter monopoly.
Exactly. What I'm doing is I just basically wipe out 95%, or better yet, I say I'm selling it to everybody except you. Now, this is the bottom line.
I interrupted you. I'm going to make this like a 1-minute YouTube Twitter viral video. Start over, I interrupted. Everybody needs to use this. This is the best allegory, best analogy. Take your time without being on the screen. Lionel of LionelMedia.com, not Lionel.com, LionelMedia.com. Great brain, start over.
Okay. Assume that during the era of newspapers, I'm a company that happens to make an ink, the only ink that is used in 95% of all newspapers. And then for some reason or another, I decide as a private company that I'm not going to sell this ink to you and to you and to you, and maybe 50% of all the newspapers in the country that I disagree with politically. They turn around and say, in effect, I have denied them their ability to express themselves. I turn around and say, no, I'm a private company, a private concern. I am not susceptible to the protections of the First Amendment because I'm just a private person who can elect for a variety of reasons not to sell to you. But by virtue of my positioning, I've just eliminated swaths of information, of expression, individually, not to mention if there's any kind of a corporate or I should say federal collusion.
And now we've got the Sherman Antitrust Act since 1906 and everything. Clearly, Google saying that all Republican candidates are Nazis. When you search their names, the first search result in the official Google thing, this isn't just monopoly practices. They're using the monopoly to then engage in weaponized propaganda and lies. So as a smart guy, and a media analyst, and a former prosecutor, what do we need to do to stop this clear monopoly being used to try to overtake our republic?
What we do and what we hope for is a new and enlightened Supreme Court or a new American jurisprudence and juridicature to look at this and realize that today the rules are going to have to change. What was a quaint little social media platform, what was interesting before in Facebook and all of that now happens to be the sole means by which people get the news. Not only that, Alex, when I turn around and I say that you are fake news, I've just disparaged you. This is corporate libel. I've just said that what you are saying cannot be trusted. So not only have I limited your particular range, I've said that you are fake.
That's cute. They take our speech, then they misrepresent us and strangle us in the dark.
Exactly. And all of these rules in the past about what private ownership is and whether there's state entanglement or federal involvement, that has to change right now in this. And that, by the way, goes to show you that these nice and quaint little statements about how the Constitution is not a living and breathing instrument, it is. Because right now, if I sat down, going back to the days of Madison and Jefferson, and I tried to explain social media...
They would think you were a Martian from Pluto with 14 heads. But you're the lawyer, explain to me, because I'm strict constructionist when I read the study. But you have to take the original intent and follow then the rulings and changes and try to express the original intent of human empowerment and liberty, but in the modern context.
Right. And what they will do is they will say to you, Alex, being a strict constructionist and originalist, they will say Congress shall pass no law. Using the state via the 14th Amendment, through the incorporation by reference doctrine, they will say Congress and the government, they are the people who can basically infringe upon you and impinge upon your rights.
No, but you're right. So they would use a strict constructionist rule. People are ignorant who actually allow everything after that deny their constitutional authority. But how do you use them not being strict constructionists then? Just living, breathing, take the guns. Well, clearly the people shall not be infringed. Then in a modern sense, you got to then express that into the modern template.
Okay, but here's the switch, though. When you go back and look at the legislative history of this, and you say, where did these come from? Where did Google and Facebook, through DARPA, through government theater system? I would respectfully submit that the government is indeed the silent partner of these. So you have this connection.
What you just said is incredible. I know for a fact that it was Trump. We broke this days before Bloomberg did. That went and said all these thousands of conservative accounts, unban them. They totally banned us, then they would shadow ban. But didn't you tell the CIA, the NSA did create Google 20 years ago? And so what you said is absolutely profound, because that is indeed the case. So that makes it beyond the monopoly. It's the state operating a monopoly, hiding behind the fact that it's corporate towards a larger goal.
You would submit that Facebook and Google and Twitter are the government. The government's a silent partner. It's like when the mob ran the Teamsters. It's when the mob ran Vegas. Well, we pierced that veil, that corporate veil, that fiction. So what happens is we need people to understand that right now these incredible organizations, Facebook and others, this is not some quaint little picture of somebody in their little pet dog.
This was DARPA created internet to take over the world.
And the government is the silent partner. That this is subterfuge. This is pretext. This is exactly what's going on. Therefore, by virtue of the
it's deep state rebellion against President Trump and the American people. This is just government. It's rogue groups with corporations getting filthy rich, robbing taxpayer money and public utilities, and these be taken away from their mutinous asses.
And the First Amendment applies, and it's a violation of our First Amendment rights, plain and simple.
So that was a Grand Slam segment. Lionel will be back tonight during the coverage of ScudderSpick. Infowar.com/show. Amazing. War was the next.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in liberalism.
You're a white man! You're a white man! If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. Alex Jones.
There's a lot of controversy around this network about Alex Jones.
Google is being accused of hiding negative stories about Hillary and her campaign, of changing its algorithm to bury stories like the Clinton body count story. That's according to the website Infowar.
Dr. Martin Luther King has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
JFK was shot from the back and the front.
I think it's a national security imperative. You have clear things that we do not understand how they work, operating in areas that we can't control. UFOs.
Is this global governance at last? Is it one world? The central message in charge.
Israel claims the attack was accidental, but some former U.S. naval officers say it was on purpose. They described today's action as part of a continuing cover.
Russian intelligence compiled a dossier on Mr. Trump during visits to Moscow.
Russian, stop!
Denied everything. He called it all fake news.
And he accused CNN of being fake news.
If they kill Trump or remove Trump, it will cause a massive civil war in this country.
Are you aware that Mr. Stone also stated publicly that he was in communication with Julian Assange and WikiLeaks?
White House president are citing Infowars.
Then to shut us down, you're next.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
Extended-wise, the latest product from InfoWars.com fuses all the known compounds that have been proven to be good for a heart's cardiovascular system. And listen, everybody's got a heart. Well, actually, maybe Hillary sort of, but everybody else has a heart, and this product is amazing. So, if you have a heart, you want the very best product out there that's designed to aid a healthy heart cardiovascular system, it's Extended-wise, available at InfoWarsLife.com. And like all of our products are game changers, this baby is the most souped-up, awesome version, the top formulators you can come up with, and still affordable. It's one of the very best articles out there. It's Extended-wise. So, get some for yourself and family friends. It's got the very best fish oil from the fjord, very pure, very clean, and has the EPA type that is specifically good for the heart cardiovascular system. It's got the properly formulated type of CoQ10 and more. It is Extended-wise, now available at InfoWarsLife.com.